With the loser on the floor. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Cause I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm about to get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information for me. Important, you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. Cut that game plan. Show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, can't don't stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Anything we make up or just break up, and the snake hits get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up if I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle a lesson.
Happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday, everybody. How y'all doing out there today? Y'all excuse me, I'm a mess. Life is happening, but you know what? We here, right? Thank God we made it another day, coming up to the end of another week in this amazing month of April, and we are glad to be here. So let's get it going. Let's get with it. Let's make it happen. So good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We're right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network over on these great streets of YouTube. And y'all don't pay me no mind. I'm struggling tonight. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but nonetheless, we are here, right? And we are looking forward to having another great night of conversations. So let me take a breath and slow it down a little bit because I want to greet y'all properly for this amazing conversation we're going to have on tonight. So tonight we are having our special edition. I know we usually start at 7 o'clock, but I said this year I was on Team Toxic. We're doing some toxic time this year. And I said that this year we was going to kick it up a few notches, as we go along. And as you know, and if you don't know, but as you know, no matter what we're doing, no matter what the conversation is, here on Thursday nights at about 8:30, our conversations always take a turn to the left. So tonight's special edition is Lady Dawn B After Dark, and we're going to start at our turning point tonight. So tonight we have an open conversation. We're going to have some good old dialogue. We got a couple of questions, a few topics, some things that we want to talk about, and we want to keep it real. Here we do real talk with real resolutions. So again, I want to welcome everyone tonight to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. This is our special After Dark segment. So I'm going to try to be as gracious as a host as I can on tonight. I make no promises. We don't know what's going to happen, but whatever's going to happen is going to be good. This much we would tell you. So we're going to take it easy and nice and slow, and we're going to have good talk tonight. I hope you guys are ready. So I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Hit that thumbs up button, please, sir, please, ma'am, if you don't mind. It is free 99 to you, but it means everything to us as it helps push our information, these great broadcasts out into the wonderful YouTube streets. We are also almost to our 1,000th subscriber. So if you would not mind, help us reach that goal. I appreciate it. If you would, Bravo with Sheila appreciates it. If you would, Pastor Sheila and all of us on the network would appreciate it. And thank you in advance. So before I go any further, I do want to do our usual disclaimers. Here on the Bravo with Sheila network, we are not a Christian-based network. However, quite a few of us on the panel are believers. So I want you to know I'm a God's girl. So as always, you're going to get a little Jesus when you get me. But with that being said, we respect everyone's thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever your moral compass is. Your comments are welcome here. Your thoughts and your views are welcome here. We want to hear from you. We want you to be engaged in the chat, and we want you to have a good time with us on tonight. So, with that being said, the number one rule that we have here on the Bravo with Sheila Network is respect. So we want to engage in conversation. We want to do so respectfully. And it's okay if we don't agree and see eye to eye. We can agree to disagree and embrace each other's points, but we need to be respectful. If at any time disrespect is shown or expressed within this broadcast, our wonderful, beautiful, and amazing moderator, the lady Inay Kenya, who is in the house on her post as always. She is here. She is our lovely moderator and she greets everyone. But please keep in mind, she will also remove you from the room at the first sign of disrespect. So we're going to ask that everyone plays nicely as always, and let's have a good conversation with each other, okay? So on tonight, of course, thank you, Inay, for being just so amazing and always being in the spot, in place, ready to roll with us. Additionally, I want to thank and salute to the Queen Bee of the Bravo with Sheila Network, my Auntie Bravo, the person of Pastor Sheila herself. We give her a big bravo and say thank you, Auntie Sheila, for always yielding me this captain chair on Thursday nights to have great conversation with these great people, with our brave brothers, as you call them, and our amazing bravettes. So welcome everyone into this space. Also, I want to welcome our chat. Again, invite a friend, bring them on in. We're going to talk about a few things on tonight as the crew is loading up. The squad is here. They will be coming in, and you know it only gets better as we go on with time, right? Right. So let's see who we have in the chat tonight. Of course, we have my good and beautiful sis, Lady Marilyn Jackson is in the place. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining on tonight. She hit me up. She's like, hey, sis, I can't find you. What's going on? And I was like, sis, you didn't miss me. We at 8 o'clock tonight because we going after dark. We are on the other side. We are at our turning point, and we're going to have great conversation tonight. So thank you for joining, Marilyn. It's always good to see you, sis. I so appreciate you. And we have, of course, you know her. She's part of our ladies' room. The amazing Lady Risha is in the building on tonight, and she's going to be up on the platform in a moment herself. Oh, hold on, stop the presses, because my queen is in the building. Y'all know the world stops when Mama Rosa, that's right, my mom, she pushed me out. I'm her fourth of her four. Pastor Rosa, she is in the house. Oh, she's being so professional tonight. She says, good evening, Lady Dawn B. Well, good evening, Pastor Rosa. Good evening, Mommy. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. She's in the building. Also, we have, you know him, you love him. I'm going to bring him up in a minute too. But Von Erich gives his usual. What would it be without a usual Von Erich greeting saying blessings all? I love all the L's and all the caps. He makes sure that everyone is greeted in the place. So we thank you guys for joining us in the chat. And for those of you who are up in the silent section, the expensive seats, we want to say good evening to you too. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. And please, at any time, feel free to come on down to the chat section. We want to greet you properly. We want to welcome you, and we want to hear from you. I promise you it is safe down here. We have security, so you are all right. Okay, now I also want to say, if you are in need of some spiritual guidance, maybe a little boost, a little word of encouragement, you can go right across the street. It doesn't matter which way you go, left, right, straight, or backwards. You will still end up at the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. They're right across the street. Now, over there, you will find our Queen Bee, Pastor Sheila, with the kabod. You will see her pretty much almost every day of the week in some way, shape, or form, either over there or over here. And she shares amazing words of encouragement through the preach word. She sings, music, meditation, just a whole host of things you will find. So you want to subscribe to that channel as well so that you don't miss a everything. So make sure that you go across the street. Again, if you need that spiritual inspiration, you will find it on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. How do I know? Because I've been there. Like tomorrow, if you're not doing anything around 11 a.m., go ahead over there and you're going to find the Women of Grace, the dynamic trio, who is Pastor Sheila Ingram, my mama, Pastor Rosa, and I call her my auntie gangster. She is the person of Reverend Jenny. They are known as the Women of Grace, and they are over there spreading the word like nobody's business. Tune in, tap in, and I promise you're going to get a blessing. Okay? Additionally, on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m., Pastor Rosa, my mama, is on there sharing a good word, teaching the people a little bit about how to get a little closer to God, get you a little more Jesus. So we've got a host of things going on over there on the on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. So make sure you tune in over there. Additionally, over here, as we bring it back to this side of the street, I want to let you know that on Monday nights at 7 p.m., amazing conversation goes down with Dr. Elaine on Mondays Beyond the Mic. How do I know? Ask me how I know. You ask me, how do I know? I heard somebody say it. Well, let me tell you how I know. Not only because Dr. Elaine is awesome and great, but also I've had the privilege and the honor of co-hosting with her. So we have been on having dynamic conversation about relationships and all types of things, I promise you. So come on over on Monday nights and have a good time with us. Make sure that you are liking and subscribing both networks so that we can get your spiritual and your natural intact. So with that being said and out of the way, let me bring up our Thursday night squad so that we can get going and get into this. Please invite a friend on tonight. We'd appreciate it. So I'm going to start with the king in the room. You know him. You love him. We appreciate him. He brings the smoke a lot of times. You know, you can depend on this guy to, turn the corner, to take off the sharp edges. And, this is how he does. So in the person of Vaughn, the Invisible Man, Eric, he is in the building on tonight. Welcome, Vaughn. What's good?
All good. Good to be in the house today. It's a little dark outside, so everyone get prepared. We're in the dark tonight, so. But the light still shines.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Wow, we starting off in the dark. We're starting off in the dark. It's good to see you. So glad that you are here and glad that you are in the building with us on tonight. So let's see who else we got queued up to bring up. All right, here we go. And again, here we go. Hold on. I'll get to the comments in a second. We're gonna bring up my sis. She is part of the amazing state of Texas. She is, I don't even know how to describe her, but if you've, I do know, but if you've been here for the ladies' room, you already know that she brings it and she brings it right like rain. So come on up. None other than Miss Risha is in the building. Hey, sis.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Von Eric. What's going on, people? I hope y'all ready. It's going to get real quick.
It's good to see you in the house. I'm so glad you are here. And let's see who we else got in the queue waiting to come on up. You know her. You love her. She is the newest member of the ladies' room and part of the Thursday night squad. You never know when the team is going to pop up or where we're going to be. But what you can guarantee is that no matter who's here, how we got here, it's always going to be fire. And I'm so glad she is my sister. We are co-authors. She is my friend. I love her to pieces, and she is going to bring it as always. In the person of Coach Theo is in the house on tonight. Come on up, sis. How are you, beautiful?
Sis, how are you, Anisha? Hey,
how are you?
I am well.
All right. I know we starting at the turning point. Normally we got a little chance to warm up, but not tonight. Not tonight. Tonight we're going straight at the jugular. We starting at the corner, the turning point. So before we go on and get into this good conversation, let me read some of these comments in the comment section. Let's see what we got happening here. My mama, Pastor. Oh, Well, thank you, mommy. She said you're looking extra gorgeous tonight, daughter. Well, mom, it's after dark, so I had to, put on my after dark gear. I didn't want to. If it was midnight, it'd be a whole nother session, But tonight, I'm keep it calm, keep it easy. Thank you, mommy. I love you. And Risha is greeting moms in the comments. Mommy also says, "Good evening, Vaughn, Eric."
Good evening.
Say good. Hey, Risha, love you much. She says, "Hey, Theo." Mama's greeting him right now. You better be careful, and they look like mom might be trying to take your job. She's greeting all So, guys, on tonight, let's get this great conversation started. More of our squad is going to be folding in after a little while, but again, welcome everyone to Thursday Nights with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. Tonight, we are having a special edition. We are going dark. We're having an after dark moment where we want to have real conversation. We're going to talk real, keep it real. Y'all know we keep it real and raw anyhow. But on tonight, we going to start at the turning point. So we just have an open dialogue. But I sent the team, a few clips to check out. So we want to talk about a couple of places in relationships. A couple of things. We're trying to figure out where we're going to start tonight. I know where we're going to start. This is a good place to start. So let me ask this question, and I'm going to throw this out there for all of us. So I sent them a clip. You know what? I'm just going to start with the question because I don't have the clip to show y'all. But we're going to dialogue about it anyway. So as we are in relationships, and especially, all of us are pretty much, we're all over 50, I know we don't look it right. I hope y'all, listen, y'all are looking at the amazing grace. This is what good living looks like. Okay. Like you too, you could, y'all can do it. For those of you who haven't hit that 50 mark yet, y'all can do it. Okay. We keeping it young, we keeping it right and tight. Oh, hold on. There's some fire that came into the queue. I don't want to go into this before I bring her up. Y'all already know it's going down. I'm going to bring up my sis. You know her. You love her. She is fire all by herself. In the person of Dr. Indy Brown is in the building. What's good, sis? All right, she may not be off her mic yet, but that's all right. So, guys, I want to ask you a question. When you're starting out in a new relationship, you meet someone, you start talking, you start dating, you go out, y'all decide y'all want to make it exclusive because you enjoying him, she's, you enjoying him, he's enjoying her. We just having, finding our space, getting into our niche, and creating our own dynamic. But before you really cross over into that point of commitment, I want to ask you this question. Does body count matter? Does it make a difference in whether you would get into the relationship, how much you're going to commit into a relationship, or if you just have a number that's, your cutoff point for those who have maybe endeavored in spaces before you? And we're asking this question tonight based off of a clip from tonight's conversation where Tripp says, what did he say? He said, body count matters to dudes who ain't in the count. And that tickled me. I was like, oh, okay. I think men are a little more concerned about body count to a certain extent than women are. I could be wrong. He also made mention of the fact that most dudes are with women they have access to, not the women they really want. So we're going to dig into that too. I thought that these were very interesting points that he was making. And I wanted us to talk about them tonight. And even you guys in the chat, in the gap, please make sure, please, ma'am, please, sir, we want to hear from you. Engage. So this question is open to all. And since it came from a man, some of the information, I'm going to start with Vaughn Eric, actually. Vaughn Eric, Does body count really matter to a man? And if so, how much does it matter? And I know, and let me say this tonight. I'm sorry, before you start, Von Eric, I apologize. We are not experts, although some of us are licensed as therapists, clinicians, counselors, but we are not showing up in this space in those arenas on tonight. Tonight, we are just taking off our titles, our licenses, and all of those things, and we are just talking as people from the well of our experience. We want to have real talk, real conversation with real resolutions with real people. So this is not therapy. This is not counseling. I don't want y'all to come back saying Lady Dawn B and squad said A, B, C, and D. No, we are just talking. And the opinions that we are sharing are our personal opinions, our feelings from our experiences. They are not, end all be all, but we are sharing so that we can get more of an understanding of the thought processes between us as sexes and how can we bridge these gaps. So go ahead, Von Eric. Does body count matter to men? And we're not speaking for all. We're just speaking from our experience. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Does body count matters to some men? Yes, because it's because probably what they're told, and then it depends on the social atmosphere that you're in. Because no one, it's like you don't want to wear the same clothes as somebody else's that somebody else have. So some men look at that. They get teased. Oh man, you got that girl that was with her, and then you around some of the fellas that had her. So it does matter to some. It depends on the person. But then sometimes in someone, a person she may have been around, but then when she gets with someone and she's loyal to that person, everybody else that had her wish she was the same person before she got with the person. This how things crazy how things in certain atmosphere or society that happens. But as time go on, it's not a priority for some men. That question don't even come up. As long as that woman that person is with, they feel comfortable. And even if it does come up later in a relationship, by them being together and getting to know one another, it won't matter to the man. So it depends also the maturity of the man also, so, and it's just, and the individual, some people, it's just like, some people don't like a man with a certain person, certain color, certain body size. It's just a preference that they want a woman that's been around, that's known, and also known to be around with a lot of men.
That's good info. That's good intel. Thank you for that. So, I'm gonna hold my questions. Come on, Risha. What is your take on this? Does body count matter? And if so, why?
Personally, for me, and I think for most women, we are not as it's kind of like men can't take what they dish out, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We're not concerned with who you've been with. At this point, you're with me. Now, I do think a lot of times body count is more an issue of your self-esteem. If I feel like, and it's not how many, it's more of a who, and I think that's on both sides. If you're dating football players and basketballers and all these Fortune 500 men, and then you fall in love with me and I'm a blue collar worker, it might make me feel some kind of way if I'm not secure in who I am. And the same thing with women. If you're used to what everybody considers a bad chick and model or whatever the case may be, and you get with me and I consider myself regular, I might have an issue not with the how many, but with the who's, the category of the people in your body count. And it might only be out of those, it might be just your last two, but for some reason that aspect of your past makes me feel insecure about who I am with you in this space. But that's clearly a me issue. Same thing for men. Who you were with, the kind of money they had, makes me feel insecure in this space. But then again, it's not about the other person. That is self-work.
That's good. All right. All right. Y'all heard it here. Let me just greet. Let's see. Jasmine is in the building. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining on tonight. It's good to see you in the building. She says, greetings, everyone. Jasmine is new to our space. I'm so glad you came to support. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We are on with the Thursday Night Squad. It's our special 8 p.m. edition after dark. But we are having real conversation about real issues, trying to get to some real resolutions so we can be in some real good relationships. And the most important relationship I want to say is the one that we have with ourselves. And I often say, I think that one of the most important things, even in all of these conversations life is built on relationships. That's why relationship talk is such a big deal. Because it's how we interact with one another, how we engage with each other. How am I showing up for myself makes a difference in how I show up in other spaces. So it's important that we get an understanding of ourselves as well as how we communicate and relate to the opposite sex as well as others. So come on, Coach Theo. Jump on in here. Let me bring ND back up to the platform. Come on and share your thoughts concerning this body count situation.
Hey, family, how y'all doing tonight?
Oh, all right. Well,
What's
hey.
happening? I tried to take a little nap, so I'm a little high on Pellegrino. Don't mind me, Pellegrino. Got me lit. These streets got me lit. Pellegrino, let me see. Got me lit.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, it's after dark, so you all right. You all
I'm
right.
all right. It's not 8. I still got about what? It's 8:28. I got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Woo, I got 2 minutes. I got 2. Hi. Okay, let me get my hi there, Dora. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
Oh wow.
Hi, Dr. D. How are you?
I'm well. The missing Power Ranger has arisen. Go, you here? Power Ranger. Okay, with the question, I'm serious. Let me get focused. Okay. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing this evening? Grace and peace to you. Hallelujah.
Dr. Indy has made it into the building, y'all. So, so we just
the 2 sides of the same coin.
Girl, after the past 24 hours I done had, mighty God today.
Listen.
You thank God ain't no bodies on the side of the road.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. So we
need that energy.
Yes, we were just starting our after dark conversation, and the first question or topic on the table is we talking about body count. Does it really matter? And if so, how? So Coach Theo was just about to give us her share, her side, and her take on it. And then after that, we're gonna go to you. I'm gonna give
Come
you
on,
a minute.
Coach Theo. I'm gonna take some.
Well, I feel like everyone has a past, right? So for me, it's like, is that even a conversation that we have? And the main thing for me is the code. So I'm not trying to be with somebody that has been with one of my girls, right? So for me, it's the code. So if I know that you've slept with one of my girls or like one of my girls, I'm kind of going to be like hands off, right? But everybody has a past, especially like you said, we're all over 50. So we know that none of us probably have not, most of us have had experiences. So,
And I agree with that. While you're talking about the code, I want y'all to think about this too. when it comes to, you know, the girl code, guy code, and the circles that we operate in, would it matter to you the amount of time that's passed between the time? Because sometimes, all right, I'm gonna hold mine till after, but we gonna keep it real and right. We gonna keep it real and right.
Do I need to go? Do I need to go put my hat on so it can be succinct to help?
Yeah, go get your hat on.
Right, let me go get my hat. I'll be right back.
Go get your hat.
Go get your hat. Jasmine says, talk about it. Jasmine, we here to talk about it. We want to talk about the things that other people don't want to talk about but need to talk about, because we keep doing the same things in these cycles and circles because we have not talked about it. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're doing so after dark, y'all.
To Indy, I have a question about the girl code. To Indy,
hold on. Let me read this comment, and then we're gonna let her get her life together with her hat. Disciple Spencer says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sis. Welcome in. Good to see you, my Fluffy Nation partner. I'm so glad you made it tonight. We are doing Thursday night. Ladies, gonna be after dark in the Thursday night squad. We are here ready to talk about it. Get into some good conversation. You know, we being all nice right now in the moment, but y'all know how it's about to go down. Ladies got our caps on. You know what happens when apparently we done tapped into something, you know. So yeah. Jasmine says, I'm here for it, girl. I told the people, listen, y'all, this is not church, so leave your church hats home, because we came to talk and keep it real. And a matter of fact, before we get to Dr. ND, let me bring up another Thursday night squad member. Y'all have seen him. You will continue to see him. I'm absolutely biased, so I'm just, I'll let y'all know this just straight way. Okay, he is my big brother, none other than the soon to be. As a matter of fact, next week is going down. The relaunch of the Men's Lounge is going down next week, y'all, and he is going to be the co-host of that segment along with me, holding the men down. Y'all know him, y'all love him, and you will continue to. He's gonna grow on you even all the more. And the person of my big bro, Mr. Rockology, is in the house. What's popping, big bro?
What's up? Hey, ladies. Hey, Risha. Hey, Theo.
What's up, Rock? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Von Eric, Dr.
What's up, my brother?
And last but not least, never least, baby sis. Hey, baby sis.
Hi, big bro.
How's everybody doing?
Makes me happy. We good. And D is about to give us, we started the conversation, and we're talking about the question or the topic for the moment is, because we start at the turning point. We starting after dark at the 8:30 hour. So we ready to get into it. Forgetting the preliminaries, we just getting straight, no chases, what we doing tonight. So we're talking about, does body count matter? And if so, how? So Dr. ND is getting ready to share. And then we're going, big bro's rubbing his head. Mighty God. Come on, ND. Come on, give us your take, your spin, your thoughts, your feelings.
Yo, my son is in the background saying, yes, mighty God today. Yes, mighty God today. Hi, Pastor Rosa. So here's my take on it.
Hey, mama.
I don't really care to know, because that's before my time. Unless some of those body counts is still more present in my space, then yeah, I'm gonna have to address it. Yeah, because some body counts people keep extra bodies in the closet when they keep bodies in the closet. I'm just saying, we got to be honest about where we sit. It's grimy, both guys and girls. They always gotta listen. If you in the streets, not the streets, if you in the streets, you're gonna keep a body. You're gonna keep a couple of bodies in the closet because you are not sure about the one you with. Until the one they with proves that they worth being with, you're gonna keep a couple of bodies in there. You're gonna keep a nice winter one, you're gonna keep a spring one, your favorite summer outfit, you're gonna keep them. I don't necessarily want to know. We gonna be honest, right?
We gonna be honest. We being honest.
I ain't always been serving the Lord. I just started serving the Lord. I just so I have bodies. I transitioned. When one act up, I just pulled another one out the closet. I was good. I had a lifestyle, right? I had a lifestyle I had to maintain. So I was true to my art. The artist is only as good as what they paint. I was a modern day Picasso. I was good with it.
Come on.
I didn't care. Yeah, so no, I don't, and I still really don't care. I don't think, unless it's going to be, I think now that I've matured, I really don't care. I don't have time to think about something that was before me. Unless you are still in that space and you're still thinking about it and you can't be more present for me, then that becomes a problem. So I don't think that it's important, because if I'm spending so much time on the past, I don't have time to build a future. And I think for me, the Black woman's code, you just don't sleep with somebody else's man, whether they was dating and you broke up with them. That's just me. I'm just not gonna date, even if, so Rashida was dating somebody and they've been separated for like 20 years and her and I may not be on the same speaking terms or talking, and I see him and he try to holler. That's a dead deal for me, because I know that you've had some intimate space with my friend. And even though I may not be on the same book page and cover with her, I think it would be somewhat disrespectful. It's not that much love in the world for me. Because if she dumped you and I was her friend, I'm just gonna, why would I want to pick you up? I don't recycle in my area. We throw all the trash out.
Okay. Well, then why would I want to recycle in my area? That's good. We throw the trash out. I know Risha has a question. I'm gonna let you get to that. I just want to get to Rock to make sure we get around to everybody first on this, and then we're gonna dialogue a bit more, because y'all have made some y'all have made some strong statements and comments. I'm here for it. Welcome to Thursday Night After Dark, the special edition, where we keep it absolutely real in the field. Come on, big bro. Does body count matter? And if so, why or why not?
I mean, me personally, I think one of the it doesn't matter, and I don't even know why people ask. I don't know why they ask. And if I think from my exposure, men tend to be a little bit more sensitive with body counts than women even when it comes up in conversation. And I don't know why that is either, but hey, it is. But I think it's anything. I think Dr. Needy said it earlier. Anything that happens in the past should be in the past. Why are we discussing stuff that happened in the past? What that has to do with now, unless something comes up, right? Why does it matter how many people you've been with, how many people you haven't been with, and then what, boom, boom, boom. And then I see people like, then they start rank. Why are we ranking?
Okay.
You're gonna get your feelings hurt. Don't start ranking.
Can you say that again for the brothers that are deaf in the right ear that sit on the left side of the field? Can you say that again?
Which part,
about
baby?
The ranking part? Like, don't do that.
Why are we ranking? Don't rank, because you get your feelings hurt. Because just because people say that don't mean they don't remember. So
they say they don't have amnesia. That's what you say.
You on the list. You just not high. You just not ranked that high.
Just not that question. Just not that.
You're on the list. You just not ranked that high.
You didn't make the final cut, and you're not even on the backup as reflected.
Right. Exactly.
They removed you completely off the roster.
Right.
They told you, we really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. We'll be in touch.
Right.
That's right.
I think you shouldn't ask questions that you're not man or woman enough to handle the answers. And a lot of times questions are asked and people, they can't handle the answer. And it's like it kills everything. It's just and I don't know why we as men, or some men, because I don't care what happened in the past. They are then, I am now. That's all I'm concerned about, right? But I don't know why some men are so overly concerned about what a woman have done prior to them?
I got the answer for you.
Wait.
Talk
Hold
to
on.
me.
Now, I think that when it comes to the men, I think, and thank you for all of that. All of y'all are adding so much to this plate, and this is such a good question because I feel like this: at this big age, why does it matter? You know, at this point, I think when it comes to age is a factor in it also. I mean, my son is 23. You know, the generation that they're in right now is like wild. You know, I don't even understand what they deem as dating. No disrespect, y'all. Whatever works for y'all works for y'all. But I don't get it. I just don't get it. And with them, I don't think. And again, this is not an absolute. This is not everyone, but the majority there is almost like Woodstock all over again. You know, because everybody's just like somewhat free spirits, just going here today. You dating this person for a week, you know, y'all hit it, and then it's over, and then you dating somebody else 2 weeks from now, or you with her friend, but their friends in different neighborhoods, you know, all of these different things. For us, again, at this big age, we all have a past. So whether it was one person before you or 25 people before, what you know, what does that matter? Because even however many people were before you, it did not work. It didn't work. So why are you know, why are we so concerned? That's one thing. At this point, I don't really think that it matters again because we all have had past relationships. Some of us have been married, you know, some of us are married. Whatever it is, we all had. There's always somebody before you, bro. You know, and I think that for men, they take it more personal. And this is just my opinion, just my thoughts and my feelings.
They do. No, you know they do. It ain't no opinion. That's a fact.
No. Well, that is. But I feel with men take it more personal because they want to be the number one. They want to be the first. Nobody wants what's left over. And I'm not saying this offensively to any of us. I'm just saying that this is what seems to be the mentality from what I have encountered and experienced and through conversations. It's like, nah, because if she got more than 5, I can't get with that. But how many do you have? Because I know you dated at least 12. Plus. You know, so you weren't exclusive about who you shared yourself with in your 12 relationships, you know, but now you want to be for you. I think men take it a lot more personal also because of the act of physical intimacy. You know, it becomes the challenge, the I don't want you to, am I the best you ever had? Like, why does that question come up? You know,
because they're insecure.
Ego starts entering into that. And I find that that's where the body count starts to become an issue. Because if you don't have too many experiences, you have nothing really to compare me to. But if you've had other experiences that were amazing to you, now it feels like I gotta, you know, it's a challenge. But it's not a challenge that women have placed on you. Because I'm not asking. Because like y'all, I really don't care who you were with before me. As long as you're good now, you got a good, you know, clean bill of health, you straight. Listen, what we doing going forward? Because all of that, like you said, is in the past. It doesn't matter, you know. And that was one of the points in the clips that I sent to you guys. It was saying, you know, when you were someone, Trip was saying, I'm not worried about who else she's been with. Only a person who's not on their square is worried about whoever has been before them. You know, when we talked about the girl code, and Rich, I know you have a question and I want everybody to share. We talked about the girl and the guy code. That is something that is so. The disciple Spencer says, "That's it, lady. Don't listen." I'm just saying, like it don't matter. I ain't worried about who you've been with, because whoever you've been with, they ain't.
I don't care.
Right, it's team up
it's just
now.
Insecurity. That's all it is.
If you're still thinking about it, then you need to go back there. because we can't do that here. I need you to listen, say it with your chest and part of your back. You know, the whole 10 toes down here. But when it comes to the guy and girl code, the bro code and sis code, do you feel there's a time limit? And I know Risha, I think, wanted to ask Dr. India a question on this, but is there a time limit where that code is no longer valid or no longer applicable? And I ask this because I literally have people that I know who have and I'm gonna be real transparent. Well, y'all know my now in my situation, I'm talking about my story. In my situation, my ex-husband, my son's father, is now married to someone I went to high school with, and she and I are good friends. Like we're friends now. We were acquaintances in high school. But they dated way back in like middle school or something like that. I didn't know them back then. I knew either one of them. I met him as an adult. When they started dating and we met, and he and I were divorced, and I was like, sis, let me say, I don't care what you do. I was like, I'm good, we good. That has nothing to do with me. Listen, go be great together, But some people couldn't understand that and would be like, well, I wouldn't be friends and I wouldn't be dating and I wouldn't be. But if that's where your happiness is, then that's where that is. She and I weren't best friends, but this is a true story. Now that's my sis. Like, we do real life stuff together. And I know that situation isn't for everybody, but if we're talking about the girl code and the bro code, is there a limit of time? Like what is this statute of limitations?
Statute of
limitations on that happening, because if you dated him when y'all were 12 and now your sister meets him and y'all are 45, like, sis, you really holding, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing exactly? So I wanted to put that out there because, again, in real life, real time, I know of people who are close, who have shared a man at one point in at different ends of the spectrum of life, like, for real. And this is real talk. Let me read this comment, and then I want to hear from you guys. Disciple Spencer said, my ex-husband dated one of my friends when they were teenagers. I married him in my late 30s. See what I'm saying? Like, to me, I wouldn't care. I would not care. Now, if you are my best friend, like, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But with that amount of time between when they were 12 versus marrying in the late 30s, does that statute of limitations make a difference? Come on, Risha. I know you wanted to ask a question. I want you to share, and then come on, Vaughn, after, and we go around. Well, whoever wants to share.
Well, my question was answered. So let me say this. Because my question was, when you say girl code and your girl, is this acquaintances or someone you've had a relationship with? Because I know a whole lot of chicks, and I'm cool with you as a, hey, what's up, how you doing, but we've not really shared space, time, and continuum, like, So I guess in that sense I wouldn't consider you my girl, but I know you, we travel in the same circles, but I don't get down with you and you don't get down with me. So in that situation, I was just curious, how would you handle that? On the flip side, me personally, if God has said that's your man, if you feel like that's your dude, and if we just broke up, absolutely not, because then we can't be friends, because I don't want to be in the space. I'm gonna say for me. But if that works for you and we're truly friends, this is how I feel. Come talk to me. At this age, say that this is what it is. Don't let me find out by way of the streets that that's what you're doing. Because you can meet people on the job and things just kind of transpire, and I get that. And I'm not going, now this is just me. But I think the conversation needs to be had prior to. Me personally, I don't want him. I'm like this: miss one, next one, 15 coming. It's a bus running every 15 minutes. I catch the next one. But if Yeah, now that's me. But everybody,
every 15 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah, buses run
The
every
buses
15
run.
minutes. Miss
In New
one,
York,
next
they run
one,
even
come
faster
is
than that.
Miss
In
Come
New
on,
York, they run. Yep, in New York, they're quicker than that.
All right, well, okay,
It's
well,
like
then
every
every
12
all
minutes,
I'm
every 10
saying
minutes.
is, and they going to the same destination. Help me.
Yep.
Even during rush hour.
Yep.
So let me see.
Even in upstate.
Let me hold up. But it might be somebody who might feel like this their last chance. All I'm saying is, sis, talk to me. Now, when I tell you I don't have a problem with that, but we done, I need you to be able to handle all that comes with the decision that you make. But if you my girl, oh no, miss one, next one, 15 coming. First of all, I know too much about you. I know what you do, what you don't do, what you can and what you can't. I don't want it. Ain't no more mystery for me.
We're not recycling.
No, not at all.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
I don't want nobody's
give us from the men. What do you say about the statute of limitations?
Well, I want to go back to that first question. Also, it depends on you. Now you know that how society look at men and women. If a woman been around, she's looked at different than a man that's been around. And sometimes men allow that society to guide their judgment and to guide their thinking as far as how when to get with a woman because they control by the society and how society is. And that goes for, just regular society, or even when it comes to biblical, theology, they can allow that control them when it comes to being with a woman that they believe, also what they believe has been around. Now, it's women that's been around, but we don't take the time to know why. This, everything is done for a reason, and you don't take the time to see why this woman has been around. It could have been something that she has dealt with when she was young, things that she went through mentally. It could be her family issues and things like that. She could have been something that she had a hard life with heavy trials and tribulations. That we must take that into account when it comes to a woman or a man that has been around. But as far as I have to agree, I'm on the same path as Miss Epps. If I know the person and me and this person broke bread, nah, I'm not going. That's not going to be no. It will have to be that person, like he said, and the other person will have to come and we all sit down. But I still will have my reservations because some people, they may say yeah, but then later on down the life, they see how good y'all together. All of a sudden, they try to come in between. They can't handle it and things like that. So you have to take that account as far as the mental issue is the person that you bring to me and this person that I'm acquainted with, because he may say he can handle it and can't. So all that takes into account. But most of the time, I have my reservation on that. If me and this person broke bread, and especially he talked about the person and things like that, and they went through and that, I wouldn't be able to, that would get to me mentally that, I'd rather just be with someone totally out of the relationship.
That's good. That's good. But the only turning of the corner that I would even say or even add to that is, even with that in mind, how you knew that person and how you showed up for that person is different, or maybe different from how they will show up and be and mix with me, and within a certain amount of time, we all change. We can change for the better, we can change for the worse. Some people do remain the same and indifferent, but I think that time will tell. I think time will tell in some cases, again, because our needs and our wants are different. And I'm not with I would say in this case, I'm not with mixing drinks. I'm not with us. Like I get it, but I just think with a certain amount of time. I think like Rishi was saying, like if you happy, like Ronald, if you love it, I like it for you. We just can't, there just have to be certain boundaries. I think it would be for me after that, depending on the amount of time. Like I'm gonna let y'all go off right into the sunset and be happy, but we then become acquaintances. you know, and that closeness is no longer there, depending on the amount of time and the relationship. Come on, Coach Theo, what say you?
I agree with Risha. Like when I say girl code, I'm talking about my girls, like my solid sisters. They are my, like we've been rocking for years. We know each other, right? Like, that's for me, girl code. Like if I don't really know you like that, I ain't gonna trip. But I do think there might be a statute of limitation. I'm gonna say might be, because for me, I always gotta know what's happening in the moment. I gotta evaluate what's going on before I can make the decision on how I'm gonna move forward.
Okay, that's good. All right. Y'all are hearing it tonight. Listen, give you something to think about, because maybe some of us are blocking some, potential relationship. Your husband could be somebody that your friend dated or acquaintance dated, when y'all were 9, and you 62 now. You know what I'm saying?
You going back to 9 years old? Come on.
Some people do.
Stranger things have happened. Rock and D, y'all want to share, or are you ready to move on to the next topic?
I'm gonna say this. I'm about to turn the whole corner and go the opposite way.
Come on.
So here is what
it's after dark.
It is. I'm about to bring it. So let's go back to the question when you said why are men ask, and I can speak from that because I dated someone who kept asking me about some of my former partners, and my response was, I love you, we good. And he kept pressing and then one day I was unfiltered. I didn't have any Pellegrino.
All right,
and I said, you're not the best. You were not the best. You and I were okay, but it could be better. And he was offended. And I said, but I told you to stop asking me. I don't ask you about anybody that you've been with, because for me, psychologically, and let's be honest, we're going to start to think, and we're going to start to take that in, and we're going to start to try to figure out what they did and how they moved and what they did and all of these things. And we're also going to start to figure out, well, how did they break up? Why? It becomes too consuming. But when you continuously knock on my door and ain't nobody home, eventually I'm going to open it. And I told him he wasn't. I'm not even going to tell you weren't the best. It's okay, because I love you and I know that we can work on it. But frankly, you're not the best. And now that we're here, it is what it is. I think that they do it because they're broken. They are trying to feed their masculinity by dominating. It's the traits of a narcissist. I promise you. Any man that continuously presses to ask that question is a narcissist. Because only a man who has some insecurities, that tries to profess that he has it all together, that keeps asking about something that he has nothing to do with, and continuously wants and persists to look for an answer. He just want to know, because he needs to be in control. He needs to be able to feel like he has gained a momentum and he has power. But the reality of it is that he don't want the truth, because the truth is going to now make him one or two things. It's going to make him worse than what he already is, or he's gonna crumble, which then you don't want to be bothered with him, because don't nobody want to deal with nobody who's weak. That's the reality of why they ask, because you ain't gonna ask something, because if you good in your game, you don't care.
Come on.
If you got her speaking in languages that she hasn't even, in countries she ain't visited, why do you care? If she cooking you 4-course meals and meeting you at the door, packing your lunch and putting love notes in it, do you really care? Why would you care? Because if she's showing up for you because you showing up for her, you should tell the other brothers, yo, I thank you. Let me send y'all thank you cards. Because what y'all lost, I got. So I don't, because I'm definitely not going, I never asked him about the women he dealt with, because I didn't want to feel like I had to compete with somebody that wasn't in the space. I didn't want to psychologically take on something that I wasn't prepared to deal with. So I didn't care who he dealt with. All I knew is that he was in my presence. So I was going to make my moment count. Now, it actually turned out to be a long moment, but it was still a moment.
A long.
It was a long moment.
The short moments is the ones that you really got to put extra work in.
Yeah, it was a long moment. But again, and I'm glad that moment has ended. That was a long moment.
You gotta. It's the what's it? Gotta be packed with a punch.
Yeah, that was. It was a long moment.
You got.
It's like a one night stand that lasted 6 months.
No, it lasted 8 years. It wasn't a one night stand. That was an out bump in the corner. We didn't even get to the one night stand. It was a, hey, how you doing? It's nice to see you again. And it turned into 8 long years. That was a long moment.
Ooh, that's a long time.
It was a long moment with bad presentation.
So wait a minute. He was asking for how many years? How long was he asking then?
He started asking it towards the end when I just kind of became disconnected.
Oh,
like I had left the relationship physically.
Right, so he picked that up because he believed that he knew something was right, and he believed, well, I must not be hitting it right.
No, let me take my glasses off because I need to see the Black Power Ranger. Let me help you. No, it wasn't that.
Like this.
No, it wasn't that. It really was is that I started questioning the validity of his longevity. I started asking questions as to why you can't do what you do if I'm supposed to be the only person in your life. I was making suggestions, bro. Drink grapefruit juice, something. Get you a battery, get a plug in, whatever you need to do, so you can be more than 15 minutes in the game.
My God.
This night after dark gonna be rough.
Right. I started asking questions like he was like, "Well, you don't want it." I was like, "Cause you go to sleep after 30 minutes." Hey, I still got time.
But he wasn't like that at first, though, right?
So in the beginning, it was okay.
Okay.
But I also understand, and what I've learned as I've matured, that sometimes you don't get your sexual rhythm until you invest some time in and you get to know the momentums of your partner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, sometimes sexual encounters are amazing in the beginning,
Right.
but remember, you got to keep that momentum up. In some cases, it's good. It's good enough for you to want to come back for more.
Right.
But you still got to gain the momentum so you can understand the rhythm of the movement.
Right.
In the beginning,
so it was okay. It was okay because we were still new.
Right.
But by the time we got to the 5th year, I was about done.
Okay. So that means So
I tried. I tried because I thought maybe it was some things with me because of past relationship and trauma.
Okay, I see what. So you for the first 5 years, you was, even though it wasn't hitting right, you didn't complain.
It was okay.
It
had its moments.
Right.
Like,
so
in January it was great.
Right. So,
March it was so slow.
Right. So, but then
October I was like, I don't want none.
Right. So, but in that fifth year, that's when the complaining started, right?
No, there were conversations. Because I'm a woman. So how do you tell a man that you care about that he is not
hitting it?
Right, without hurting his ego, without breaking, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to break him. I don't want to hurt his ego. I don't want to shatter him. I don't want him to feel like so I had to wrestle with because I had never had to have this conversation before.
Right.
I never had to express to a brother like, bruh, like I'm gonna need you.
You're not doing it.
Right. And so when you love somebody, you try to work through it. You try to say, let's talk about it. Let's do some things. But yeah, no. By the 5th year, I was like, tap me out, coach. I ain't got nothing left.
Right. I got you. But
I love him. Like we could do other things, but this. I was thinking, but I was interviewing other candidates. Can I just be real with it?
See, what happened? What was happening was they were conversating, and he probably wasn't listening.
He wasn't listening.
He wasn't listening to the conversation
to
which she was having, because in the conversation she was showing concern, and she was saying, "Listen, we got to do this or that or boom." But if he's not listening, because sometimes we can have sensitive egos. You know, and if he's not listening to what she's saying, that's when it's not necessarily the performance that go down. It's not listening what made it go down.
I see that. But I also see. Remember, he was asking her questions that then she.
That was towards the
He
end.
was just asking her, was he the best? That ain't questions. That's egotistical.
That's ego. That's right. That's
right. That's a narcissist, because he would ask me, "Oh, I'm the best Spanish man you had," and I would be like, again, me being who I am, I was like, "Yeah, babe, I love you. You good? And I just kept it moving. And then gradually, I just stopped complaining. I'd be like, "Whatever you say, bro. You say whatever you. I'm a partner with what you say." And then we was.
No, Eric, that is not. That is not telling him.
When did he start asking you?
No, I know you gonna say.
Hold up.
So how long were you together before he started asking you?
I stopped sleeping with him because I was also wrestling with my walk with God. So I had to make some decisions in the relationship. So it wasn't just because I started to become disconnected, because I was wrestling with my walk. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. First of all, I wasn't satisfied. Right. So on top of me not being satisfied, I said, I'm going to go to hell unhappy. I need to make some choices. I'm telling the truth. If I'm gonna go to hell, I need.
If you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna be happy, huh?
I'm gonna be happy going. I said no. So like by the time we got to the 5th year, things started shifting for me. I started to disconnect emotionally, but I loved him and was struggling with how to have this conversation. And so he made the decision he was gonna go do him. So I just made the decision to move on. But he constantly was begging for it, and I was like, no, I'm good, because I told you I wasn't happy. And then one day he just kept asking, and I just came out with it. I was like, I was never happy. I loved you and was willing to work through it, because sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make it work. And I get it, but you wasn't more present, and I was tired. I didn't feel like asking. You said you can get it elsewhere, and I gave you permission. Go rock yourself out. Do what you do. I'm tired. And I think that goes back to what Dawn said about us having, how we negate it. And then if it was somebody that I knew that he was dating, let me be honest, psychologically, it might bother me. Even though I've progressed on and they're doing well, it might bother me, because now if they don't make it, I'll be like, so this nigga was really a loser. However, if they make it good, I may start to question the validity of who I am as a woman, because why did I not make it when I've invested time in it with him?
But I think, like Rock said, as far as he wasn't listening, I think he wasn't listening even before you even asked him the question. Some men, this goes for men, us men do not listen to a woman, even if she does not say it. They don't listen to the woman's body. They don't listen to her the way she's feeling when they making love to her. They don't listen to her emotions. They don't listen to after y'all get done, after the sex is over, to talk about. We don't, and this could go on both sides. We don't listen and pay attention. We don't even pay attention when we are with a woman, and inside of her, we don't even pay attention to her body. What is her body's telling me? What is the understanding of her body? A man that is with you like he was, he should understand your body. He should know you is unsatisfied. That means his mind was somewhere else, and he needed an assurance by words to know that if you were satisfied. Well, he should know just by being with you, just by y'all coming together in one body. So, and if he needed to know by words, then he is failing himself in a relationship. And this could go on both sides.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to just give it back to Dawn. When you get up and you can clean a whole house afterwards, I don't need to tell you nothing. My actions tell you everything.
Right. That's why I said he didn't listen. Like Rock said, he didn't need for your words. He didn't listen to what his body was telling him, and he wasn't paying attention.
Right.
To you. That all comes when it comes to making love. It's just not just hitting it. It's everything. You have to listen. If you got up and did all of that, right there about mine, what the hell? I gotta get right. something ain't right. If she can get up and her knees and stuff ain't buckling, and she wait a minute, hold up, let me see what's going on. But I got to get myself together.
See the thing about it is this.
Give me 1 second. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. Great conversation, but I want to greet the people who came in the room, and then I want us to kind of begin to wrap this. Because I want to get to the next point. This is really good, though.
Okay.
Tamika, welcome in, sis. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, sis.
Tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. And Landon Price is in the building. What's good? What's popping? Says there it go. Every detail. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Every detail. And I think it goes both ways. It's not just one-sided. So, Rock, I want you to give your comment, and then I'm gonna
make it short. It'll be short. Yes, it does go both ways, but we as men, knowing that women are receivers, we need to understand, and our purpose is to make sure that they're receiving what they need. That is part of, to me, that is part of our responsibility, right? And we need, and like Dr. ND said, or like I said earlier about what she was saying, he wasn't listening. Not only wasn't listening to her verbally, and like Von Erich said, he wasn't listening to her physically either. And we have to listen. We have to know, because I don't care how good someone is, everybody's not the same, right? So if you leave one person to go to somewhere else, you got to learn all over again, because this person is different. So you gotta learn everything all over again. You can't take what you learned over here and bring it over here. It may not work. And that could be the reason sometimes why you are on the list and ain't ranked that high. Because you trying to do something with one person that you trying to do. I mean, you can't do it that way. You gotta pay attention. Listen, as long as, even from day one, I'm not in a good place if I feel that the person I'm with did not enjoy themselves. I'm not in a good place myself personally. Because to me, it's like I am here to please, and if I'm not pleasing, then I'm not doing my job.
That's true. I mean, and that's a good perspective to take it from. Risha said in the comments, love versus lust, just getting it in instead of getting you, selfish. And that's true. You know, sometimes we have to think about, you got to think about the positions that you're in mentally and physically and emotionally with the person, because this whole point of physical intimacy when it comes to sex is about locking in with each other on a different level. You know, it should not. I think we also have to remember, as we, bring in this part, we're talking about body count. And welcome in, everybody. This is Thursday night with me, your girl, Ladies on B. We taking it after dark. We starting our conversation at the turning point on tonight. We have Von Erich, the Invisible Man, the Black Power Ranger, as Dr. ND likes to call him. We got Miss Risha in the building. We got the co-host of the Men's Lounge, my big bro, Mr. Rockology. We got Dr. ND herself in here, and my sis, Coach Steele. We are laying down good conversation on tonight. We are after dark, so we're not holding back. And the question on the table was, does body count matter at this particular point in life? Does it make a difference? And if so, how and why? And I just want to say this, when we started talking about it, we got into the conversation, and Indy was sharing her experience of, elongated, dissatisfied relationship of intimacy. I think also what happens is, in a perspective, is in the beginning of every relationship. It is exciting because we are exploring. We don't know each other yet, usually, and in truth, because we after dark. And if y'all could just hit that thumbs up button for me, please, man, please, sir. Even if you don't come down in the comment section, just please hit that button. It's free 99 for y'all, but means everything to us. In the beginning, I would say the first time, I don't care how amazing it is with anybody, and we just talking, keeping it real, all right? So don't judge. I don't even care if you judge. It don't even matter. The first time it may be fun and exciting, but guess what? It is always awkward, because I don't know you, you don't know me. We trying to figure it out. The way I held whomever last time is not necessarily how I can hold you this time. You can't be a one, a one show pony. You know, have one trick that works for all. This is not, a one size fits all type of situation. This is not what that is. We gotta learn each other, right? So when it comes to that space, you can't. We get deceived because we think that the excitement of the beginning is going to be how it is through the entire relationship. But the truth of the matter is that eventually we hit our stride. Eventually we have explored all of the things. I know what you like. I know what you don't like. I know if I touch the back of your neck with the tip of my fingernail, that's going to send a signal. You know what I'm saying? It's how we do. I know how to get you there. You know how to get me there. Now, once we figure out our level playing field, now we got to build on that. It doesn't just stop there. And then I also think when we start asking this question, because something you said, and one style does not work for all. No, sir, no, ma'am. It is not one size fits all. And that is not just for men. That's for women too. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Sis, you're going to have to learn your man. I see.
Get off your back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said get off your back. Don't just...
Listen, figure it out.
I'm going to be honest.
That's right. This
my toxic trait. Now, when I first meet you and we have my transparent moment and we go, I'm going to show you what I do. My goal is to have you in the corner sucking on your thumb calling for your mother.
If that's what it is,
that's what it is. I'm going to show
Where's
you.
the anointing oil? This is out of order.
I'm gonna show you. And so
I ain't mad with her.
In order for me to know, I got to watch what you. Okay, well, let me hit it to the left. Because I'm gonna work, but my purpose in working is to work you. Even if we don't do it no more, you gonna always remember the R to the H to the ESAH.
And let me say this too, and that's the truth. In relation to that, and with that, I think when it comes down to the question, as we were saying, men take it more personal than women do. And when it comes down to the asking of, am I the best or the best you ever had? Because not too many women ask that. I don't really care. Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you, when I first meet you, similar to I think I might be the polar opposite from Risha. If in the beginning of our relationship situation, not situationship, in the beginning of our relationship, I'm not pulling out all my stops. I'm gonna give you enough to think about, but I'm not because I don't know. Number one, I don't know if you can handle all my stops yet, and number two, I don't know if you're worth all my stops. So I got to grow you into learning. As I'm learning you, I got to grow your curiosity to figure out, well, if she did this and I felt like that, what's next? And just when you think you don't know. That's when you pull out more. It's that whole anticipation, like the Heinz ketchup. That's all I'm saying. But when the question comes up, stop rocking it. When the men are asking, am I the best you ever had? And how am I or whatever? I think that we have to stop doing, because then it goes back. If you say that you're not, then it becomes the competition of, well, I want to prove to you that I am. And when you start doing all this talking about, girl, when I get to you, sir, stop talking. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking. I'm really not. I'm not gonna do it. I'd rather be silent and show you than talk about it. I can show you better than I can, because you be disappointed.
Yeah, I can show you
every single time. But what I will say is, and I want to land here, is that we have to stop. Sex is the thing that we revert to as a rescue jacket in our relationships. When everything else is going wrong, when the men were talking about, when Vaughn and Rock were saying how it's a matter of listening. It's a matter of listening and knowing and learning each other. I need to be able to know what makes you tick. But where I'm lacking and where I'm not at my peak, I cannot keep using as like I'm gonna use sex. I'm gonna be the best in the bedroom so that you forget about the rest of the house. Because that's what happens too. We get into that space where I might not do this, but if I turn it out in the bedroom, everything is gonna be fine. No, because when we finish in the bedroom, I'm still gonna need you to fix that in the kitchen. I'm still gonna need you to get you together in this space. But for all of us, we can't use sex as that rescue jacket to make everything all right. Because then it takes away from how we show up. I think that's when it becomes a task instead of a joy. So, you gotta give it time to learn one another. Oh, all right. Come on with the body count. Does it matter? No, we all agree. It don't matter. I just need to know you today and where we going forward. So thank you everybody for sharing on that point. Give yourselves a hand. We are turning it up tonight. And that's right. Clap it up. Clap it up. Give yourself. I need to get us some clappers or something. So as we move forward in the conversation, because we could stay on that all night. We ain't even gonna get to all 4 points before the night is over. I promise you that. But the next thing that I wanted to bring up and talk about. Oh, watch your voice, Jasmine, but keep talking. She said, learn your rhythm.
That's it. The rhythm of the beat.
Now, okay, see now,
But
Jasmine, you gonna
we gotta go back there, Dawn. You can't just drop that comment. You can't just drop that.
I know that's why I'm like, Jasmine.
Yeah, but you can't. Oh, but you
now maybe
Jasmine,
go back. Listen,
right?
All right.
Even before Jasmine said, "Learn the rhythm," you said something that was like really important about. The bedroom is it. But this is the one thing that I really just learned it in my 55 tenure. I just learned it. And I didn't learn it. I knew what I was, but when I really looked at what I was, they talk about sapiosexual.
All the time. This what?
You
absolutely.
Right, and you said something
Absolutely.
About in the bedroom, but do we not know that sex starts with most women before the bedroom?
Right.
It's just the icing on the cake.
Right, because if you can
that goes back
here,
to the listening and learning.
And this is the thing that I think. Where's the Power Ranger? Where you at? Where you at, Power Ranger? I need to see you. Where you at? All right, thank you. I'm just saying. But Dawn, when you said you made the statement about after the bedroom, I still need you to do what you got to do out there. And see, that is a turn on right there when you can go do that. But if you can capture this up here first, like here, my covering, here we go back. My covering. You can cover this. The bedroom becomes no limits. There's no limits. What? Because once you turn me on this, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, yo, this dude right here gonna get the business. Yep.
Have you touching the back of your head with the palm of your foot?
The simplest touch is over. You start doing things you ain't been doing. You put on lingerie you couldn't fit, that's tight, cutting you up, but you don't care.
Or none.
You ain't gonna be on long. You start meeting Negroes with fur coats on, with just laundry. You start doing things that you've not done, because the fact of the matter that he has mentally tapped in. And he's mentally tapped into a point where he's not taking advantage. He is meeting you where you at. He's understanding the players on the board, and he is only concerned about being king. Mighty God today. Can somebody pray my husband? Can y'all pray him? Can you pray my boo? Because I'm getting. Can you pray? I need my covering to come.
Stimulate my mind, and the rest will follow.
Come on, come on, Power Ranger. What you got? I'm saying that was part of the downfall in my relationship. I became because he had from a brain perspective. Our conversation, the intellect was on point, which made me care. But the moment he lost that. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Landon says, Lioness roars.
And so,
Come on, Landon.
okay,
But she's absolutely right, though. I agree with her. Oh,
yes.
did I mess you
All
up,
right,
Von Eric?
everybody-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I wanted to say. I agree with her.
You have a chick cooking an egg in the middle of the night just because you hungry.
Yep. Yeah.
She in there cooking a whole
Yep.
4-course meal for you.
Yep.
Butt naked.
Butt naked.
Right.
Burden and everything on the whole thing just because you done flipped the sheets over and didn't even touch her. I'm just
Well,
saying,
like
it's the
Jasmine
things we
said.
do. I'm just saying, that's why the chandelier ministry is very important.
It is.
It's
Very important.
I absolutely
This is
agree.
why, like Jasmine said, you have to learn your rhythm. And I would just say this. I love the 3 simple words she said, and you take them just like that. It's not putting the ownership on the other person. Ladies, gentlemen, learn your rhythm. You got to know. If you don't know you, how do you expect somebody else to learn you?
Mm-hmm.
I know
If
me.
you don't know, and if you not willing to be, at this big age, we have to have honest conversations about the physical intimacy that is expected to take place in our relationships. And we gotta go into it with the understanding that it is not gonna be perfect from day one, y'all. Like, it's not. You gotta learn each other. I'm coming in with my knowledge, and listen, teach me something I don't know. Look, help me discover something about me that I didn't even know that I liked. I'm just saying, like, sir, I may not have liked that with somebody else, but with you, I just might be, oh, well, okay, hey there now.
But you know something else too, sis? You know something else too? What you're saying is absolutely correct. But we also can't go from relationship chasing either.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean by chasing? You know what I mean by chasing?
I get you.
Oh, okay. Because some people go to the next relationship chasing and looking, and that might be a one time. You may not even get that again. So you can't criticize some of the next partner because they're not what you had before. You can't do that.
Well, the only one constant in the relationship is you.
Say that again.
But you can't compare a one-shot deal to a lifetime subscription. It's way different.
Well, I'm not talking about like a one night stand. I'm talking about like you in a full-fledged relationship. No. Whatever you got in that relationship doesn't you some things you got in one relationship don't necessarily is going to be in the next relationship. So some people, they go chasing. They're looking for that same intimacy, looking for that same depth. They're looking for that same whatever, and then you're not going to get it again because it was just that person.
Well, especially you may be looking for like a sound in this and thinking the other person's going to make that same sound, and that person not like that type of person, or move like that
But
other
that's
person.
right.
Mm-hmm. So
that's what I'm saying. Those are somewhat. Mm-hmm. Those are like one-shot deals. This is what happened at this particular time. Don't expect that, compared to this is not our normal rhythm. Sometimes sometimes you're gonna have that extraordinary night. Mm-hmm. But that extraordinary night is not gonna be all the time, because then it's not extraordinary, it becomes ordinary. That's like if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. Then priority becomes your norm, and then it changes. Let me read these 2 comments, and then I want to get to one more thing. Jasmine says, I want mental intimacy first. Absolutely. Stimulate my mind. I like you, ND. I'm a sapiosexual. Like if you don't get me here, you ain't gonna get nothing else. Like, not a thing. I'm sorry, not sorry. It's just the way I'm wired. You could do all the tricks, the bells, the whistles, have the whole parade. It is not going to matter to me. She also says mental intimacy leads to the best sex ever, and it makes 2 bodies become synchronized. That's right. But if we're not engaged and connected in those other ways, I'm not going to engage and connect with it. Becomes, again, it's a chore. It feels like a chore and a task, and just in that moment. So,
but it also depends. I think it also depends the mental state a person is in also.
Yeah.
It's like the women on this panel, they went through different parts of life and different lives, paths, and things like that. So they could be in the same mental state and some may not. Rock, I'm sure Rock could probably understood. He probably been with women to be like, this woman is no disrespect to someone, an airhead. So I know how I need to go at her a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So I think a person needs to understand the woman and the mental state that they're in. Every woman on this panel are educated women. And their mentality is in a different realm when it comes to the life that they've been through. So I will have to make sure if I'm with this woman, like they said, get to mentally have an intellectual conversation that we all be able to come as one. And at the same time, I want to know what she's been through, her life journeys and things like that. As far as the body count, that doesn't matter. As long as me and your mind together, and just because you went through a body count, women's body changes. So just because you went through that don't mean she's, as most men think that she's loose. So that doesn't mean that, because different women's bodies change. But when you lay down, it's like when you making love, it's like a Picasso, you painting the art. But when you paint this art, this painting, you must understand what you are painting. And for you to understand a woman, you must have this conversation with, and you must just don't have the conversation just to have the conversation. Understand the conversation. Understand where she's coming from. Don't try to force where you coming from onto her. But if she doesn't understand you, come up with different conversations, come up with different words, so she may understand you. But no, you must know her, and she must know you, because the laws that she set before you, if you're able to come with her laws, she would take care of you for the rest of your life. This is a woman, it doesn't matter. Just like Dr. ND said, he was talking to her mentally, and when she did, even though she wasn't fully satisfied, he had her mentally. He had some parts of her that she was able to come together as one, but then his pride got the best of him. Oh, this is this. And then he started cutting off and not listening to her. He didn't even listen to her body. He didn't even listen to things that she was doing. He wasn't even listening even to the words that she was saying. So all those things matter when it comes to being with someone. And I think sometimes we run so fast. Some people, this on both sides, because it depends on what part of your life, we run so fast of making love because we get along, because we're talking, and we don't even pay attention.
If you that fast, you ain't making love, though.
I was gonna say, like, well, in order to make love, you have to have love. You got to be in love, and I think that's where we.
I thought it was talking about
you can't be no rabbit either, though.
I thought it was talking about time.
You can't be no rabbit.
You
can't be no rabbit.
That's yeah. I thought it was
no
rabbit.
That ain't making love. That's just
That's
barely having sex. Shoot.
Well, I didn't want to use the other word because this is a family.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I would like to not.
Was that other word going to be? Oh, you said don't use it. Okay.
I would like to say on the network. I would like to. I would like to.
But it was, I thought it was with Lady Dawn After Dark. I thought it was that. Okay.
It is Lady Dawn After Dark. Part, but we do have some. We gotta. Cause we do have some boundaries.
Oh, that's right. Because Mama's on here. Yeah, Mama's on here.
No, not because Mama's here. Because we will get canceled. Mama's grown. How you think I got here? So Mama's here. y'all might learn something. Bring Mama up here. Y'all gonna learn something.
I think we're talking about relationships, but I also think we have to think about the fact that the 25-year-old Theodore is different from the 58-year-old Theodore, right?
Right.
So some things, some things that might matter now may not have mattered back then, right?
Right.
Back then, I might just have been like, I like you, you look good. What I'm doing.
Right. Right.
I like you, you look good. Okay.
Right. Now you have a wooden leg and one eye. As long as you do all right. I got you.
No. We got nobody saying is that how I might have rolled back in the day, is a little different than I might show up.
True. That's true.
Right.
That's all of us. Yep.
But to some people bring that 25-year-old and have it all the way up until they 55.
Oh,
Because they're immature.
That's true. True that.
It could be immaturity, it could be inexperience. You know, some people
Right.
cut themselves off. Some people, there are different blocks that we have, you know, that cause us not to be so free or open open to the thought of exploring or experiencing things. So, you know, it really does. All those things do matter. But I think the main thing is we have to remember is that we all have a past, no matter what it is. You know, we all have one. And so we are not meeting someone who just came out of their mother's womb today, fresh out the box, you know, and just has never been touched. We all have experiences, because we're not going to complain about the experiences that we've had, you know, that nobody, Jesus, see, I don't know, why can't we get off this topic now? I was going to say, see, now nobody wants to have to teach somebody from scratch. Everybody wants somebody who comes with something, but then we get upset about how we got the experience that we had to have the knowledge that we got that's going to make you happy at the end of the day. I'm just saying. We can't.
I just think we need to get comfortable with saying, y'all don't like that. Don't do that no more. Stop that. That didn't work. That's not good.
You got it right. You got to put it.
But I think some women also have to get comfortable with the fact that, yes, we do love sex as much as men do. Like some women try to pretend that they don't. Right. And that also creates an issue.
That's my problem, because I will. Okay, so, and I am sapio to my heart. Like, but if that fall off and we're in a relationship, let me just be transparent. My ex-husband, what is your job? Come on down here and do what you need to do, because I moved him upstairs in the house he was in. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go outside and cheat. So come on down here and do your job. Let me and I took
she said
control.
she moved him upstairs.
I moved him upstairs. I did. I moved him upstairs. I moved him out of the master bedroom upstairs to one of the guest rooms. He had the bathroom right across the hallway, so he was good. And but when I needed what I needed, and it was quite often, like, that's your job, bro. Come on down here, lay down. And let me do what I need to do.
Oh, hell.
I'm gonna be honest.
Hey,
Like,
Von
for
Eric,
me,
she was pimping my boy.
Oh my
She was the
God.
pimpette.
There's no pimping when you're married. There's no. It's your due.
Nah. She gonna kick the man out.
She done
Kick the man out.
It's
No,
like-
she kicked the man out.
Let
I
me
don't
finish the
separate.
story.
It's easy in my
Lady
mind.
dog,
for
don't
me
do it. Don't
She
do
kicked
it.
him out.
separate.
You heard? She
Separate.
moved him. She didn't tell him to go upstairs.
Right.
She
No, I
moved
moved
him
him.
upstairs.
moved him.
She carried his stuff upstairs.
I did.
And then,
See, I did. See,
then
she moved him
she
upstairs.
was a straight pimp. You come on down here and get this together.
No, Von Eric, you missing it. Y'all not listening. She's saying I did. She moved him upstairs. He didn't move. She carried the stuff up there and said,
Yeah,
"This is
She
your stuff."
and then she all just like you said at first, she pimped her because she was like, "Get down here."
Oh yeah, she was
That's your
pimping him now.
job. We're still in a marriage. I mean,
No.
but
She wasn't
that's your
pimping, she was
job.
making her request known. See, now
Yeah.
why y'all got a problem now when a woman is
No,
telling you
that's
what
not.
she
No,
wants?
that's not what that scripture means.
That's
That's not
what
what
we
that.
don't tell you. No,
That
see,
was
That's what she was.
his job. So for
you ever
me,
become double-minded. You ever become double-minded.
Time out. If I told you I did that with Robin, you gonna say the same thing? Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
You can't ask the question and answer for me at the same time.
Well, I said you dropped your head, so I thought that was
I was laughing.
Oh my goodness, no, she didn't.
Did I laugh?
Because
I know my sister love.
That is not a request. She said, "Get down here." That's
because
Right.
that's his job. That is your job. That is.
telling him. She's
And if
telling
we're in
him
a
what she wants. Now her
relationship-
delivery may have been strong.
Oh no, we're not talking about the delivery. I'm fine with the delivery. I'm not talking about the delivery. I'm stuck on the point I moved him out,
Now you don't like
but
it.
he comes
We
back
tell
when
you
I
what
want
we
him
want.
to.
Now you got a problem. Now you
I
got a
moved
problem
him.
with it. Y'all don't like
It
us
was
not
more
to
of a
say
need
it.
than a
Then you
No,
don't like
her delivery is perfect. I ain't mad at her delivery. I'm stuck at I moved him
She said,
out,
"Come there."
but when I want you, you come
Right.
back down. When you get done, take your hind parts back upstairs.
Right. That's a
What's the
dictatorship.
problem?
That ain't no marriage.
It was not. That was his job. He was fulfilling his job.
What the
duty.
problem is?
That's a dictatorship.
That was his job. And so we're still married on paper. So, until all of this is corrected, other than that, I'm out committing adultery. So come on down here and do your job and then go back upstairs. And all I'm saying is,
See,
married
Larry
or
said,
not,
delivery, keep it just like that. See?
I already said that. I said there's nothing wrong with her delivery. I said it like 3 times.
So that means
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her delivery.
and but that's how I am in my. So if we get in a relationship and it breaks down,
No,
and I'm no longer stimulated mentally, but you who I'm dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
you who I'm dealing with. It's like, say, what's up? What you doing? Can I come
But you
on?
see, y'all saying y'all was married, and y'all still was married.
But even if I'm
Right.
not, but that's how I operate. Even if I'm not, like if I'm
Oh
in
no,
a
I was
relationship
talking to your
with you,
sister. I was talking to our beloved sister who
Oh.
kept saying, "Oh no, they're married. They're married."
Because that's what she said. She said they were married, so that was his.
yeah,
due
but that
diligence.
is how I operate. Even after, if
So
I'm in a
his responsibility was just to take care of her, and that's it. That's it.
at that point, I didn't need
works
anything
both
else.
ways. It works both
No,
ways.
but it wasn't going both ways. Are you
Right.
paying attention to
Because
the
It
point?
was.
It's
He
not
was
going
in the
both
house.
ways.
He had a roof over his
She didn't say
head.
that. Hold
He
on.
could use
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
kitchen.
wait. She didn't say that it wasn't going both ways. She was saying what she did in that moment. Now, what he did later is not on her. Listen, if I'm telling you what I want and you give it to me, and then you don't tell me what you want, don't blame me, bro. Open your mouth. Closed
that
mouths
was
don't
funny.
get fed.
But
He
you
still
guys
had a
stuck
roof
on
over
the wrong
his head.
thing. The main point here is that women enjoy the act as much as men do.
That part.
You're right, Theo. That was the point. You're absolutely
If I start
correct.
And I
talking
need
to you
what I
all night
need.
and
You're absolutely correct. That was the point. You're right.
Yeah, I need
You
what I
right.
need.
You're right. That was the point.
So
Right.
the problem is
you,
once
Coach Steve.
you stop massaging my mental, now
But I'm
it's
still
just
sure if it was the
come
reverse, it
down
would be
here
the
and
same.
handle up. What's up? What's up? And
don't do that.
I'm good. I'm not even going. I'm gonna do what I need to do to get what I need, and then I'm gonna put the $40 on the nightstand for you, and I'm out.
Okay.
I'm
I
doing
got
Don't
you.
get together.
So I'm a $40 hoe.
Okay.
Don't get your hair cut while you a snack on your
I'm a
way.
$40
Get
hoe.
you some.
Von Erich, she just called $40 hoe. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
We didn't say that.
Oh
We
my
don't say
God.
that.
I didn't
We
say
don't
that.
say
I'm
that.
just saying
Nobody
I
said that.
appreciate you.
That's not. That's
You
not.
putting words in her mouth. You put
Yeah,
No one
I'm
said
just saying
that.
I appreciate you because I could have not left
Here-
nothing.
Okay, but still, if that's what, wait a minute.
The Bravo Healing Network, we do not at all.
Wait a minute.
That's my little sister, and I love her.
Hold up, dog.
Thank you.
I can see it. I can see both. If it could be labeled as that, or it could be labeled not as that, because like she said, that what they was in, they was married, that was in a relationship. I just wish, hey, if that was back in my younger days, I wouldn't complain at all. And I get $40. Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying. We just have to be
But can I
mindful.
ask a question?
We just-
Can I ask a
just gotta be
question? It's
mindful
gonna be a
of
short
our
question.
Just gotta be mindful
I just
of
want to
our
ask a question. If the tables were turned, would y'all still be saying the same thing?
Me personally, I don't have.
I know you would.
Yes.
I know you would.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, you're not in the question. I crossed your. You're not in the question.
Right.
I know your answer.
Wow.
I mean, why would it be different?
So if I was saying this, right? If I said I moved my wife to a certain part of the house, I moved her stuff to another bedroom, boom, boom, boom. But anytime I need my need met, she bam, and then I send her back. Y'all will sit there and say, "Oh, okay, that's cool," because y'all still married.
Because you're missing the point. The point of the
I'm just-
conversation was that
I know the point was. I'm just asking a question.
So your wife might be good with it because she getting hit
He's
off and then she
turning-
go back.
He's turning the-
We got the point. I'm just asking. This is a
turning-
question
he's turning
outside the
corner.
point.
But
I'm
she said,
saying because for
He's
your wife,
turning the
I mean,
corner because
because
it's
of your
after
wife.
dark.
No, I don't. So let me say this. I don't think it would be a problem.
I just think it's
Wait,
funny.
hold on.
But I'm different.
Hold on. 1 second. Everybody hold on. Let me read this comment so we can
I think
regroup
it's funny
ourselves.
myself.
We in after dark mode. So we gonna don't do that. Don't do that.
That's how the
Landon Price says we asked the pregame brothers Belly collate with
I think that's
that
supposed to be clock.
intimacy clock. They gotta come together. They gotta collate. They gotta come together. You just gotta come together within that. They gotta be together. That's what he's saying.
I see what
Now,
you
I just
but let me answer.
welcome
But
to
let me answer Rod's question, right? I don't see a problem with it if the person, right, like, and we're talking about you and your wife. If your wife doesn't have a problem with it, I don't see a problem with it. Like, it all depends on the woman. Like, and like, if you know what I'm saying, like, if that's how the situation is, and she's in one room and you're another, and she come and fulfill your needs, and then go back, and she's good with it. But
Right.
now
Well, the basis of my question, but
then there's a problem.
well, the basis of my question wasn't really about that. The basis of my question was, I wanted to know what was
He
y'all
wants to be
take
fair.
on it if I said that.
So
That's
let
based
me
on my question. Yeah, it
Oh.
wasn't because I believe what any
So-
two people agree with, it'll work.
right.
so let me go back to that thing.
But I just want to say, if I was in Risha's position and I said that, I want to know what y'all first thought would have been.
So let me take that story a little further, because he didn't like that. It bothered him to the point he called back, talked to his mama, his cousins and aunts, and all of them was calling me. I ain't care. I did not care. Like, this is where we are.
Yeah, his auntie calling.
Yeah, everybody was calling me. And I remember one incident in particular. His comment after because I save a horse, ride a cowboy, follow, and so I was done. I was like, okay, we out. And he was like, oh, it's just that's it. It's like that. Yeah.
Go back to your room.
So let me say this.
That's the dictatorship.
Let me say this. I think that hold on, because we not gonna make it no further than this tonight. So that's just what it is. So y'all gonna have to come back for the rest of the after dark points.
Wait, why is Indy Dr. Indy?
So let me say this. I understand Rock's question, and one thing I understand it. We have to be fair, and there has to be balance. Now, within a marriage space, my question within your question is also, you said, would we do the same? My whole mentality of it is this: we are married, regardless as to the conditions of our relationship and what they are. We still have agreed to be married at this point, at this particular juncture. We are still married. It is still me, still you. Now, would you want me to go somewhere else? Or do you want me to keep, because as long as I'm still coming to you, then there's still some, number one, type of respect or regard. And number two, there's still some type of connection because we're still married. I don't want to go all over the place. Because going outside of that, for me, that leads to a whole bunch of other pressure and guilt just to go, outside of where I wouldn't want to do that if we're still married. When I was married, I remained in my marriage, kept even while I was going through the divorce until I got that paper signed and stamped by the courts. I kept myself to myself because I did not want no slip ups nowhere. Now, once we are done, that's a whole different story. But in that situation, if it was the other way around, yes, I want to say, well, I'm okay. Thinking about the people that I married, I'm not gonna make it that person. Because I'd be like, no, we're not. That's why we're getting divorced. Just no. But overall, yes, I would. I'm like, okay, if this is the nature, if this is what our relationship has changed into, then so be it. Until we divorce or until I am completely turned off by the thought of you, then we have to have a different kind of conversation. But I agree with you, Rock, that as long as both people agree, because he has the right to say no, he has the right to refuse. So obviously, bro was down with it. He came down the stairs and he went back up. So I'm just saying.
But there's more to it, though. It's more to it.
Whoa, what more? Ask. What do you need to know? I'm open.
Oh, okay.
No. We will be here till forever o'clock.
Yeah, because it's more to that story, right?
Yeah, I bet you it's not. I am who I am, but I do what I do.
So, Eric, why do you believe that there's more to the story? I'm sorry, Dawn.
Because it especially when she said, as far as other people wasn't against it, and she was stern on what she decided to do. So that's why it's more to it, because I would like to know why she did it. Why did she take him upstairs?
Oh, why did I put him upstairs?
Yeah.
So he had cheated. Right?
There you go.
And I was forgiving. I was very forgiving. We talked about some things, and I asked him a question one day, and I said, "How much more of this do you think I'm going to take? Do not answer this question because it's rhetorical. Because as soon as you answer, things change." He said, "No, I won't answer." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes." He said, "You're not going to take any more." I said, "Absolutely not." So I stopped taking it.
Right. That's what. That is the crutch right there. So even though he called and she got all those, she was stern and she had every right to be. But and some men don't get this. A lot of men don't get this. Just because a woman will keep on making love, that doesn't mean she's back with you. She can separate that.
Was not love.
I don't think it's not love. It's not love.
That's sex.
In other words,
yeah, that's sex. No, just say sex.
Okay.
I like the way it feels when I did what I needed to do. I needed to feel it.
And making love are different.
Physical. Okay, let's get all politically correct. For baby says physical intimacy for what I needed to be done.
Okay, so but I just want to make a point, just like R. Kelly, just like R. Kelly's song. Once a woman is fed up, that is it. She
just banging the headboard.
She can straight separate, and I could see what Rashid Miss Epps did. She like her thing was but let me tell you this, you ain't gonna get back to where you was before. That you won't do. Now I can come on down here, get this because I need that set. I need that. I'm itching, so I need to be scratched right now. So no problem. But you're not going to get back to where it was. And he thought just because he did that.
Yeah, but some men been doing that for decades.
Right. Thank you, Rock. I literally was going to say, how come it's okay when a dude does it, but when a woman turns and takes on the traits of a dude, like I don't even want you to talk. Do what you need to do and then be out. Like I don't want to have no long conversation. I know who you are. I'm comfortable with what you do. Do what I need you to do. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Don't ask me about dinner. Just hit it, quit it, and go.
Go home.
And I did it.
Upstairs.
My ex. And let me tell you what he said. And then I'm done. I'm giving it back to Dawn because I don't want to get in trouble. What he said to me, he said, that day you just told me that you just wanted it and you didn't want to have anything else to do left. I felt cheap. I said, well, then welcome to the world of women. Yep. Because this is what you do all the time. When you call me and you don't, I want to see you. I'm coming over. You ain't asked me how my day was. You just want to come over. And I already know the rhythm. Like as my niece said, learn the rhythm. I learned my rhythm. So I already knew exactly what it was because I had learned the rhythm. So one day I decided I was going, because listen, I learned the rhythm. And one thing, and this ain't the first time I did it. I did it before. And when I tell you, he became like, I don't understand. It was like I spent the whole weekend with him, turned his whole world out and sent him home.
Sometimes they need that.
I seen him again. You didn't call me. I don't understand what I did. I was like, bruh, I wasn't trying to take you. I just needed what I needed. First of all, you was in my apartment. I fed you for the whole weekend. You did what I needed. It's a fair exchange of goods and services. See you. I don't even want to talk to you no more. I'm just saying.
But that's different. But how many
But you can feel like that inside of a marriage too. Sometimes women can feel like that even inside of a marriage.
Right. right? But
because
I mean,
there's no emotional connection. They
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. We gotta stop and pause. I'm just saying we gotta for a few reasons, because we got a super chat in the house tonight, and where we get a super chat, everything stops. Because the super chat, clap it up. We are monetized, you guys, if y'all enjoy this conversation. So the Queen herself says, what a after dark show. The nighttime anointing has truly dropped. All right, so you getting that from the Queen of the Bravo and Sheila Network.
Hi, Dr. Sheila.
She says, what a after dark show. Ooh, come on, everybody, give us some love. Thank you, Auntie Bravo. Because without her, we wouldn't be here. That's right. Everything stops when we get a super chat. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We trying to keep it real after.
Yeah, we trying to keep it real and learn at the
But
same
I know
time.
what Rock was saying. I think Rock was saying
sorry,
like
Rock.
in one of the
Continue with your
dudes.
thought, and then
Yeah, I was saying, I think I get what you're saying. You're saying that one of the dudes came out and said it, we would have been like, oh my God, what do you mean? But I don't think the woman here would react like that.
but you talk
Not
about
these.
that's two different. That's two different
Not
women.
these.
That's two different women looking at a situation differently.
See,
So,
but
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think.
that's that, and I think.
the
But
thing
the thing is, why
Well, she's saying that because I said what I want to know what y'all thought was. That's why she's saying that.
right, but
Yeah.
even if you didn't put it just to
But you
these
gotta
stars, women here.
remember, I think that this. Go ahead, Vaughn.
If you made it to, if you did it with other women, you're still going to get two different sides. You're going to get, because you're going to have women that think like the women on the panel and women that thinks the opposition. The thing is, how do society look at it? That's one thing, society.
I don't think society at this juncture is not about society.
Yeah, I don't
This
care.
is about personal preference, because the things that we see in the streets now and in the TV, it ain't about what society thinks. We live in a highly sexual society anyway. So
That's why
anything goes when it comes to sex. So I don't think
That's why it's different. That's
the-
why, just like you just said, you just made a difference. That the way society is a high sexual society. It's different from the society where we come from. Where we
it was still a sexual society, but it was just very subliminal. We've always been a highly sexual society. It was just very subliminal in our era because they were mindful of things. But now that things are filtered, it's still the same. They just very more vocal and open with it. And I think most women, if they had an opportunity where they could speak their truth without being penalized, they would tell you, I feel just like a dude. I don't want to know your name. I just need you to bend over and do what you need to do and keep it pushing.
And that's still a different society. It was people that was raised before us looked at those was it people in a society that say what you say? Absolutely.
No, they wouldn't say it. But they did talk it, Vaughn. I got
let's go with that. Let's just say they talked.
They did do it. They did do it. The language was very different.
Right,
it was a more modest language, but the outcome was still the same. And they were more discreet with it, but the end results were the same.
That's the thing. They was more, let's go with that, more discreet. The reason why they was more discreet because of the way the society was. That's the reason why they was discreet. Right now, they're not because of the society. They walk out high sexual, let everyone know. It's still a difference. So that's what I'm saying. It's still a difference, and you're still going to get different interpretations and different understandings. Just like what you're saying in this society. Oh yeah, that's what Rock was trying to point out, and what I keep saying her name, Miss Epps said.
Rashida. I'm good.
Risha. Her name is Risha.
Risha. Okay, so what she did, people gonna look at that. People gonna look at that differently. Now say that to my mom or my mom's mom. They will be like, what? Matter of fact, when they called her, I know you had a lot of people was like, what are you doing that? And you were stern right there. Because you know why they called you? Was saying something different because of the society they was raised in and how they looked at things.
So I agree with you and I disagree. Because so I'm finna hit a pivot real quick. Like when we think about songs and we think about Grace Jones and Pull Up to My Bumper Baby and Your Long Black Limousine, it was always there. When you think about Rick James and Mary Jane, it was always there.
Right.
You can even go back to the older like I can't think of the song now where the lady was, it was very explicit.
Right.
It
Miss
was
Jackson.
just more hush.
Betty Wright.
But it was
Betty
there.
Wright.
It was
Clean up
always
woman.
there. It
And
was
if
all
you-
about the
Clean up woman.
presentation, but
Right.
what was going on? So what the people were concerned about then was
Mhm.
what the diners saw, what the people in the dining room saw. The kitchen was
Exactly.
quiet, it was behind closed doors, but it was still happening. They
It-
were still
yes, that's-
standing. They were still doing it.
That's not my argument. That's right. It will still happen. Let's go with the music that you brought up. Rick James and other people. If you look at that interviews, it was different than what they actually wanted to put down. But they had to change those words and camouflage the words because they even said the people that tell you, you got to change these words because the society is not going to accept it. Even you could look at even history. Things.
So
that
why
you
didn't
do like-
society accept it though? That's the question. Because it made
What
them
he
look
said-
different for who they were.
Hold on.
Right,
Hold
what
on.
Indeed just
Hold
said.
on. Let me just interject for a moment, if I may.
Of course you may.
I don't think. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think it's a matter of because it's almost like we're getting into the debate of right and wrong. It's not about right or wrong because both of you are speaking truth about the conditions of the times that we live in. It's just from one side of the perspective to the other.
Right.
Right now, we have evolved in a way that women, some not all, are a lot more open about who we are, what we want, what we need, what we're willing to do, what we're not willing to do. When previous times women were silent, we were more remiss. We were more, we did not speak up. These were things you did not share, you did not express. We were very repressed. Even if you did enjoy intimacy, the physical stuff, you were not going around. We wouldn't be having conversations like these openly, and you really wouldn't be having it even with a bunch of women. You might have it with one or two of your
One or
good
two,
girls
yeah.
in private spaces. That would be like, listen, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type mentality. We were not that open. And
Right.
so we would show up in those physical, intimate spaces, very suppressed, like it was our job and our duty. Unlike now, and I think this is why a lot of men, as to, one of Rock's points, when we are saying to you, like, look, this is what I want, this is what I need, and when I'm done, I'm done. Or when you're done, you're done. When this is done, we're done. Until next time. Because you are not used to dealing with women who are, first of all, in touch with who they are in the sexual sense. Second of all, when you do have women that are in touch with their sexual sense, for us to verbalize it and to share it and to express it, or even to initiate that conversation, is absolutely far-fetched. And a lot of men, although you say you want that, just in general, are not really prepared to handle it when it happens, because you're used to being the aggressor. And it's not so much that we are aggressive, but we say, don't say you want a woman to initiate, and then when we do, you run. Don't say that you want a woman to be expressive about what I want, and then when I do, I'm good. Okay, because we turned the corner now.
Come on.
No. That's good. That's good because that's where men come in. That's where some men come in at.
It's not
and
all.
Because women speak their mind now. Now they want to say, "Oh, I don't want they difficult. They this, they that." All because see before, like you were saying earlier, men just came in, do what they did, and it was cool. Now when men come in, do it, I'm buddy. No.
Anything you
No,
can
no.
do, I can do better.
No. We're not. Nah. I need now. And see, that's what it is. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me hit this point, because this is about, I think, gonna even maybe set it off, and then we're gonna be here for another 6 hours.
Get it all out. So this is all you do.
It's after dark. I can't get it all out tonight. We're gonna pick this up. I promise you, we're gonna pick up these other points when we do checkmate at the end of the month. I promise you, because it ain't over till it's over. Now, it's the problem of when we do, because I know this is gonna set it off, but we're gonna have to pick it up when we come back. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, why is it that when we do as women it takes us, you don't even understand the process that it takes for us to go through to get to the point where we are accepting the fact that I'm a sexual being and that I enjoy this and I actually like that without feeling guilty, without feeling like we are I don't even know how to put it politically correct, like we are loose or we are, you know, the easy girl because I like what I like. But then what happens is, well, what happened to Vaughn? Now he done fell off. Lord Jesus. Power Ranger, you went missing.
Like a wig. Like a wig.
We need
Fell
to
off
come
like a
back,
wig.
Power Ranger.
Like a
Well,
wig.
the black missing Power Ranger.
He done fell off.
Depend on the black.
See, Dr. ND chased them away. She chased them away.
I
See?
did. I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. Go ahead, Dawn. Come on. Light it
Let me
up.
put my question out here because I want to come back. But why is it, again, y'all don't understand the process that women have to go through to get to that place where we are sexually accepting ourselves as sexual beings and then showing up in a space with our man. It is a vulnerable moment when we are saying to you, babe, this is what I like, and this is what I need, and this is what I want. And one of the first comments that comes out of some, not all men's mouth is, oh, well, you a freak. You do. Like, why does it have to be that?
Put your hand down.
When we have come to the point, welcome back, Vaughn. I'm just saying, and I'm sorry, y'all, you know, there is no other word that I can use because that's the word that comes up. Because I am a sexually aware woman who's expressive about it. No, that's not the case. The problem is you've been with too many sexually repressed women who don't know how to verbalize because we've been taught that. That's what we've been taught. A woman who speaks up about what she wants in a physically intimate setting is deemed as the loose girl. Oh, women don't talk like that. Oh, she's not a lady. I am.
And maybe it's because it challenges what they think they can do.
You know, this is after dark. So I'm saying, we find out what words we can say and what ones we can't. So I hope that's not a word strike.
Well, personally, I enjoy it because I'm telling you, I hated trying to guess. I hated trying to guess when you could tell me that whether I knock a home run, make it to first base, or strike out. At least I knew, and I put my best foot forward.
You were still in the game.
When you sit there, you trying to guess how to love someone. That to me, that was just so nerve-wracking. To me, it was.
Yeah.
And it was just so mentally draining and emotional draining. And you sit there, just tell me. But then at the same time, I knew when I was coming up, I knew that they weren't raised that way. I'm sitting there, just tell me what you need. If you just speak up, because if I spoke up, that put them in a vulnerable place, and then that put them in a place maybe to be ridiculed. Even though I wasn't gonna ridicule, I just wanted to know so I know what to do. So me personally, I when they started me, I was like, all right, let's go. Speak up, tell me.
Yeah, and let's be real. It requires conversation because we'll fake it. If we like you and we think you're good dude, we'll make all the noises and do all the things, and you'll think you're doing an incredible job. And I'm saying there's some, and you ain't doing nothing. Because I don't want to make you feel bad. Now, let me say this. That was, I don't think I ever, but there are some women who will.
Yeah, okay.
They will make it seem like you're
they will. No, they will.
Job.
Yeah,
and you're failing.
They are
failing. On a scale of 1 to 100, you have a 20.
About a year.
Every noise is not a cheer. Some of it
right.
Some noise.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
It could be ooh, hurry up. In your mind, you're like, if I make a noise, he get excited.
Right. I need this to be done. So
that's a man that hasn't, but also that's a man that doesn't know, and especially knows the woman's body that he's with. Because even though a man.
Well, she said some men.
But that's not going to be the experience on the first encounter. Like,
wait a minute, that's true.
Like
that's true. Or the first
and the fifth encounter, that is your moment to shine.
No. Wait a
right.
minute. A man. Listen.
Uh-huh.
A man knows, right? Even on the first encounter, if he's experienced and knows when a woman is at a certain part in her body, because her body's going to respond a certain way. Is some women different? Yes.
I can't tell you how I know. I can't go.
Well,
But
I'm
I
gonna
can't
tell you,
go. I'm not going to go because
One,
this
I'm
is not
gonna
a.
tell you,
This
I'm
is
a
not.
digress and let
you
let
are
Edie
Oh, baby
take
sis, you
that.
said I
choosing Black
can't?
Power Ranger
Hold on.
tonight.
Oh
Hold
no.
on.
Oh,
One,
okay.
stop
Okay.
while you ahead. You are
No,
choosing
hey, wait a
Black
minute.
Power Ranger
Hold up.
tonight.
Hold up.
No,
One
you
mic,
definitely
y'all.
can tell.
One mic.
You
Sit
definitely
right
can
on
tell.
that.
Y'all
Everybody
can
can't
sit
talk
all
at
in
the
that.
same
Yep, turn
time.
your hat backwards. That's right. See, she turned her head backwards. That
Right.
means it's time to
Y'all
get in.
can
Yes.
say, y'all can sit here and say all of that what y'all want to say, right? Just
No,
like
we're not
y'all talk
arguing
about,
with you.
just
We on
like
the
y'all
same
talk about the
side.
men, just like y'all talk about the men, right? Y'all
We
can
on
say
your
all of
side.
that what men, what men and stuff like that. I'm telling
On
you,
your
right?
side.
If a man knows, because he knows a woman's body and how it responds, you can sit up there and say all of this and all of that, but we can't prove it, because even if I say certain words, you're going to deny it anyway. So we can't prove it.
But Vaughn, what
Vaughn,
I'm saying to
wait,
you
wait,
is that the
wait.
experience
Uh-huh.
Vaughn, we're on your side. We weren't arguing against you. we
They
weren't.
agreed with you, man.
No. Rashida said no.
I said no, I didn't agree with him
Yeah,
because
I don't.
They
I
said
because
no.
he's saying that
See?
for a man to know a woman's body. So here's the thing: a man can know a woman's body, but every woman's body doesn't respond the same. So
bingo.
Right.
you cannot
So
have
we
that
have to learn.
mindset that when you engage with a woman because you're a man and she is just a woman, the same a woman, period, that you generalize all women and say that the response is going to be the same, because it's not. Because and here's the other caveat that goes along with it. Based on what the intellectual intimacy is prior to getting to that moment, if it is that plays a role. If it's not that and it's just a hit it and quit it, it's not, all of that stuff is not gonna matter. I just need you to do that, hit it and quit it. But if there's some time vested and there's some stuff, yes, he should know the rhythm, or he should know the certain parts. There's certain intricacies. But on the first time, ain't nobody got time for all of that. I need to know what you're doing. You got 5 chances in the first couple of times we doing to hit it and quit it and do it right to make you want to come back. After the first time, if you don't ring no bells, bro, you don't get a second phone call.
Because he
I'm
didn't
with
have you mentally. He didn't have you. He didn't
I'm
have
with
you
you,
mentally.
No, sometimes it's
Well,
not
you
even.
can't have them mentally on the first
Let's
time.
talk about
There's
what
no
we're
mental on the
saying.
first
Wait a
time.
minute. Hold up. You just
Okay, we gotta
said
have one mic, and then I know we not gonna get through all this tonight. We
Go
not.
ahead, Bonnie.
you just said, as far as the guy that you was with, as
Go
far
ahead,
as
Vaughn.
mentally how he had you, right? That whatever he did, it was enough. If a man has you mentally, has your mind, body, and soul, you're right when you say it may take some time, but you moving the goalpost if you say hit it and quit it. If it's a hit it and quit it, no, he wouldn't even be paying attention to your body. He wouldn't even be really wanting.
She's referring to the hit it and quit it, the first encounter.
No.
She's talking about the first encounter. She's not talking about
the first encounter. Even if the first encounter, when you with someone, if your mentality as that is a hit it and quit it, then no, both parties wouldn't. I would be like, I would be able to understand that when we having a conversation.
No,
when we having a conversation
baby,
and me and you getting to know one another, I would know when I even lay down with you, with the way your body responds, if it's a hit it and quit it. And then I'm gonna do it as a hit it and quit it.
She's not talking about from a mentality perspective. That was just a terminology she was using, because most of the time the first encounter is not no mental connection and all that. The first time encounter is mostly just physical. Because I don't know you to have a mental telepathy, a mental connection first, and then it goes physical. She's talking about
let's go with what you said. If I'm talking to her, right, and she's not there mentally and physically, I would know that by talking to her. By talking to her, that she's just here with me physically. I would know
you are
that.
an exception to the rule then, because
No, I need to take classes from him then.
right.
'Cause
I'm telling you, you're an
I
exception
would
to
know
the
that.
rule, because in
what's your
most
class?
cases, when you have
$9.99.
a
I need to take some classes.
conversation, and when you
I'm done with
engage
you.
it, and so let me just go back to when I was doing my thing in the world. I could show up for you, but that didn't mean that I was going to stay for the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And the man
showing
would
up
know
for
that.
you
That's
because
first
you
thing.
got something in that moment that I want. But me staying for the show, it means that I'm gonna be in for the longevity. But in the initial stages, just like you men know that who you gonna sleep with, it's the same thing applies to us. We
Okay.
know when we meet somebody, the chances of them going hitting it, quitting it. We
Right.
already know. We
Mhm.
just do it differently. And what I'm saying to you is that that show up doesn't come with everybody. And just like men they know somebody they want to invest time in, and then
Right.
they know somebody they just want to hit it and quit it. It works for us the same way too.
Right.
And we can remember, emotionally, we've learned how to navigate. At least I know I have. I learned how to navigate, to monopolize the moment when I need it and what I want to get what I need for that moment and keep it pushing. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying to you. When we are in that space, I don't
Mhm.
need you to know, Mom. You may know the pressure points in that moment, and you may get lucky. But the question is after you may discover the pressure points, what do you do to make sure that you insinuate that you get a return visit to discover what you discovered the first time?
Okay, hold on. Let me pause us right here. I'm sorry. Let me pause us right here for a second, because we be having this conversation for the rest of the night. Right. And I know I don't want to leave it just at this spot, but I do want to begin to wrap up the show. However, I just want to take and say thank you to everybody who has been here. And I know that this like Pastor Shield said, what an after dark show, what a launching of Thursday night. This has been great and amazing. And I'm glad that we are having these conversations. And these are the kind of conversations that we need to have so that we can, hash them out just like we're doing and talking. I don't want to break the momentum, but we do need to start wrapping up our thoughts. Now, I will say we're going to pick it back up though. And I hope y'all, come back on for the last Thursday of this month, because we're gonna have the men's lounge versus ladies room, and we were going to pick up where we left off last month, talking about checkmate, those things in relationships that block us from moving forward. Well, I believe this conversation that just we're talking about is one of the things that start to block us from moving forward. It's the thought concept, the thought process, how we conceptualize each other, and everyone is making amazing points. So what I want to do before we do end,
I got the women going. They turned their hats backwards and everything. I said they was ready for war. They turned their hats around and everything. Like, hold up.
I was ready.
They was ready to go.
I was ready.
I know you're ready. So this is what I want to do. I want to go around and make sure we give our time to everyone to come and share their final thoughts and comments. And D left with a question. So I want to start off with Von Eric and give him the space to answer that as part of his final comments. And then I want to go to Theo, and then to Rock, and then to ND, and then to Risha. So Vaughn, you have the floor to go ahead and respond to ND's questions so that we can begin wrapping up for the night. I'm sorry, guys. Now she done turned her hat back on.
She turned her hat back forward.
Yeah, she turned her hat back. She's all right.
I'm sorry, ND. Can you answer the
all right, since we pausing here.
I'm sorry.
There you go, baby girl. I see you, baby girl. I got you.
And there is no one size fits all. There's no one size fits all answer with all of these things. Everything is always going to be subject to the people involved. We are not all wired the same. But again, we are sharing and we are expressing from our spaces of experience in our personal lives, because we are not the only one who thinks this way. While we're not one voice, one sound, find the voice that resonates with you so that you can get some good information on how to move forward and how to receive other people in being better in relationships. So come on, Vaughn, the floor is yours to answer ND, and then we're going to go to Theo, then Rock, Go ahead.
I'm sorry, ND. Can you answer that question? Because I think I want to make sure I answer it directly and correctly. I'm sorry for making you answer it again, though.
What question am I asking again?
That's why I thought I didn't think she answered the question. I didn't think she answered the question.
No,
but
I didn't ask a question. I just made I think it was a statement. It was just a statement.
And I just want to say, because I know Roxanne, you like to take some classes, but I'm just saying, an experienced man would know. That's what I'm saying. An experienced man that have learned, and I'm saying learned that actually listen to women. You know, just like I always say, I've listened to my mom, I listened to my sisters, I listened to my aunts, and I listened to many people back in the day and people of the day. So, but I'm just saying, an experienced man would know. Just because y'all haven't experienced an experienced man that knows a woman in its totality when it comes to mind, body, and soul and mentality, and knows all parts of her, doesn't mean that he would not know. Just because experienced man knows if a woman make sounds, that doesn't mean, or even if a woman shake a little bit, that doesn't mean that she reached that peak. An experienced man knows that, but an experienced man knows when he's inside of a woman what to feel for. Yeah, if y'all that type of man.
Thank you
Y'all
for
with that type of man.
An experienced man.
My mic was muted. I'm sorry.
We've all been with experienced men, and men have been with experienced women. Once you've crossed that line one time, you have experience. It's how much experience.
Right. Exactly.
You got to check the resume. That's
right.
Thank you for your point, Vaughn. We get it. Check the resume, ladies, gentlemen. Check the resume, because you become experienced after your first encounter. Now, whether it was good experience or check the resume, get you some references.
Right.
That's all we're saying.
Which we can see it.
We hear you, sir. Come on, Coach Steve.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Listen,
on, Coach.
I mean, I'm just going to reiterate what you said, right? I think the main thing is that it all involves the people that are involved, right? Because different people are going to have different experience and have different thoughts. I just love that we're able to have this conversation and just really, because I don't think this happens enough, right? Where men and women can sit down and just have these real conversations with nobody being offended and really just speak like adults, because we're all grown adults. I just love that. I'm still trying to process what Vaughn Eric is talking about. So maybe the next time we come together, you know, I'll have it. But I just love that we had this conversation, and I really just think that we need to continue having this conversation because, you know, it's just real talk. And, you know, women have experiences and thoughts just like men. So, you know, it just may be a little different than how they, you know, speak. But we like sex as much as they do, some of us, right? We are sexual beings, some of us. And I think we need to be more comfortable with expressing that. And that's it.
I agree.
Why are you always raising your hand? Why are you raising your hand?
Because y'all be ignoring me over here in the corner. I like to be in the middle. Y'all ignore me when I'm in the corners.
I'm not ignoring you. We're not being ignored. Everybody, we're not ignoring you. Not being ignored. It's just order. That's all. Come on, big bro. It's your turn. Here's your final thoughts and comments, please, sir.
I hear and understand everything that everybody is saying, but I severely believe with my whole heart that sometimes the mistake we as men do, we severely underestimate a woman. And we do. We have to understand that like I think Dr. ND said it earlier about the different ways, like when men know when it's going to be a hit it and quit it, women know the same way. And I think sometimes we underestimate not only women, but we underestimate the power of a woman. We underestimate their thought process. I think on some levels we still carry women like it's back in the 20s or back in the 60s, and women are now expressing what they want and how they want, and on some levels we're still not listening. So if someone says this takes place, no. See, because we as some men have to feel domineering still. No, if I'm doing this and I'm doing that, there's no way you can fake this or you can fake that, or they would know. And then to me, that's just underestimating. Because just like I have the power to tell, I'm quite sure there's women out there that got the power that can trick us and think that they're having a grand time and you're not touching on nothing. That's all I wanted to say. I think we underestimate women. I think we underestimate them.
I'm gonna have a talk with Rob on the side show.
301-500-8226.
No. We're not giving out numbers. We're not doing that.
Okay. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
That's behind the scenes.
That's
not public knowledge. It's not public knowledge.
Okay, all right.
But thank you, big bro. Thank you for that. And you make a very good point. And
Good
some
point.
men, again, whoever's resonate with the voice that speaks, to your heart. We are not one voice, one sound. And there is no one answer above another. There's no right and wrong. We are all speaking from our spaces of experiences to bring different perspectives. So all of this lends to a great, amazing conversation. Come on, ND, give your final closing thoughts and comments.
Oh Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
No, it's not for rebuttal. Not for rebuttal.
I do think that this conversation was good, because I think that we've reached a stage where we gotta be comfortable in our sexuality to have these conversations. I think that it leads to healthier connections, healthier relationships, but also healthier intimacy that removes some of the challenges that are in relationships when it comes to sexual and intimacy and being with that person. I think if we have more of these conversations, even having the difficult conversation, it gives people the freedom to say, especially within the church needs to have this conversation.
Definitely.
I think marriages, I think people with intermarriages, and God is definitely first, because God wants you, and that this is part of communication. So I think that this is good. I think that we are on to a place where women who have, we move past the dollies and the long dresses, and we talk about what it is to have a successful marriage. And we get it. They keep saying prayer and this and those things are definitely key in any relationship. Prayer and God is definitely the foundation. But God definitely doesn't want us to be in situations where we are lacking in one area and we are unhappy and we are unbalanced. This is part of the balance. Because it is part of the recreate and reproduce. This is a part of that. And don't nobody want to be bending over backwards just picking up a broom and ain't nothing happening. I'm just saying. Good night.
Oh God.
I feel you, sis. I got you. That's man. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, ND. Very good points. It is all about, creating better spaces for intimacy, and that all begins with you, us as individuals. So thank you for that. Yes, and these conversations are absolutely necessary. Whether you're in the church or whatever your moral compass is, we are all individuals, and that is the main thing. We're all individuals on the same journey, and we still, we want to get to the same goal, which is having happy, healthy relationships. So thank you for that, ND. Come on, Miss Ree.
Come on.
Give us your final thoughts and comments.
Let me say, this was a very, very good and needed conversation. What I come out of this with for me is just control. In a relationship, in sex, in life, I think it all goes back to control. Either I am in control of me, or I am in a space with you that I will allow you to then control me. But the goal is to be a better me or a better you, whether it's sex, within the relationship, whatever it is. It's a control issue for me. That's what I've gotten from this is boundaries. How our boundaries are set. Boundaries have not moved from where they were in the 1920s versus the 1960s, the 70s, the 90s, and now we're into the 2000s. Boundaries have moved. And so we have to be able to understand that the person who we're with, in order for us to let down our guard, we have to feel comfortable with giving them that control.
Right.
Sex is a way to control a relationship, and it always has been. But if I can trust you enough to control me, and you trust me enough to control you, we can make good music together. That's that.
Okay. Nice.
So thank you, Miss Reed. Talking about making a symphony, you know,
Making a symphony.
takes some practice, takes time and practice, but if both parties are willing to put in the same amount of work with the same amount of vulnerability, you will get to that whole beautiful song at the end of the day. So I want to thank you, Risha. I want to thank you, Dr. ND. Thank you, Coach Theo. Thank you, Sir Vaughn. Thank you, Mr. Rockology, for another great and amazing conversation. Thank you, brave brothers and bravettes of the Bravo with Sheila Network, Bravo Nation. You are amazing. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. This has been the first, but not the last, of Thursday Nights After Dark with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, and the Thursday Night Squad. You see, we keeping it really real over here. We're starting at the turning point of the corner, and I love it. I'm here for it. So make sure that you join us. We are not done with this conversation. We are going to pick it up yet again. We are going to keep it moving. I want to invite you all to come on next Thursday. Next Thursday, we will be back at our regular time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it, because we are going to be relaunch. It is the official relaunch of the Men's Lounge. And we're going to have the amazing co-host. You hear him, you see him right on here tonight. Mr. Rockology will be co-hosting with me. You got Sir Vaughn. Eric is going to be on the platform. It is just the men. The only estrogen in the room will be me. Other than that, it's a night for testosterone. So ladies, make sure that you are in the comment section. Let's lean in, take some notes, because why? Something happens when men speak. And then we're going to continue this conversation the last Thursday of the month with our ladies' room versus the men's lounge. We're going to keep talking about checkmate. And I'm sure when it hits the after dark moment of the turning of the corner, we're going to pick up on the rest of these topics we didn't get to tonight, because this was good. We're going to talk about the 3 categories that men put women in. We're going to talk about the table. And then we're going to talk about simplicity versus complicated. Are men really simple and women really complicated? So, again, invite a friend, come and join us, get your snack ready, because it is going down. We are doing amazing things here on the Bravo with Sheila Network on Thursday nights. I am grateful to be your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B. I appreciate you guys showing up and showing out. I just want to encourage you all just to remember that the greatest relationship that you can have is with yourself. And when you improve that relationship, you will show up in spaces and in relationships with others differently. So, and have a great night, everybody. Go be great, do amazing things, conquer your day tomorrow, and we will see you back here next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great night, guys.
show out like a jocker, pop out like a cracker. Telling the quick rock, skipping the country squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'm gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'm gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations.